Hold on, baby. Chill. Hold on. You know what time it is, man. Come on, man. All on the table. A cast unmatched, get outclassed. Who's not typecast for telling fables? The artifacts just kick back. Enjoy the panel. With true flies in all sides, get different angles. With grown talk the mission. Small talk is missing. Free talk don't always equate to your addition. The difference, no misstep in intellect. Delayed stress. This podcast a safe bet. Stay enlightened.
Stay enlightened. It's Big Easy, bitch. Scribbling with no pen and no pad. Turntable rotating, my brain regurgitating emotional frustration from my current situation. Keep the beat in circulation while I doctor this equation. E equals MC squared, but it don't take a genius to see. I'm twice the MC is D squares. Hop on the track, lightning fast like Usain. If you think you bustin', then I question if you sane. Mortal Kombat, and I'ma kick it like Liu Kang. How contact is straight crack from this dude brain. Dope shooting with loose aim. Put it in your veins, got you begging for more like loose change. Claim he a king, but we know who reigns. My dictation drop bombs like Saddam Hussein. Straight dog on the track, they better call the Humane Society. I fire beats like I'm full of butane. I'm doper than any MC you name. It's unfair, I'm this rare. It's like I got two brains on the track causing damage like I crashed two trains and watch it go double gold. Shout out to 2 Chainz.
All right, man. One of these days, I'm gonna do one of these freestyles, man, because I can't keep letting Easy and Punk and Show the fuck off every goddamn week, man. At some point, I'm gonna have to do what the fuck I do and show y'all motherfuckers I still got bars too. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? But we in the motherfucking building. Enlighten Idiot Podcast, you know, doing what we do each and every motherfucker Saturday. Here to enlighten you folks and do what we do. I guess we be helping y'all. We may or may not be, but that's your fucking fault because you're still tuned in to watch. I'm just saying. The rant for this week is this. I am me and you are you. And he is who he is and they who are they are and all that type of shit. Stop trying to keep up with the other motherfuckers. Do what you do. So many people be going out their way trying to be somebody else. And then you lose who you are as a fucking person. I don't understand it. I would never do it. And that's probably why I don't understand it. I've always been me. I've always walked my own path my whole life. Y'all need to learn who you are and what path you need to walk and stop trying to be the next motherfucker. Because everything is not for everybody. It's just that simple. Amen. And with that being said, we got Darkness in the building. He gave y'all some bars, did what the fuck he do. What up, son?
What's cracking, man? What's cracking? I had to hit him over the head with a little something. And you know, there's some intellectuals out there that's going crazy right now. And there's some niggas that's still thinking about all the shit that I said in that freestyle because it was over some motherfuckers' heads. But it'll wrap back around like 285 and the motherfuckers will get it. You heard me?
You know, I will say this. I don't think I've ever told you this, but one thing I can appreciate about your music is you make sure that you keep it intellectual. No matter what you're talking about, you always got a bunch of words that motherfuckers got to be like, all right, what the fuck did he just say? But it actually makes sense. And then when you look it up, it's like, oh, fuck, he really just said that?
Yeah.
Coming from this motherfucker? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, nigga, the lexicon off the motherfucking chain. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right, nigga, you're doing too much now, son.
Niggas well read. I know a lot of words. My vocabulary is.
Say that next time.
I'm trying to get my TI on, man. You know.
Fuck, son. Y'all Atlanta niggas, man. I remember once upon a time, you know, Atlanta niggas, they vocabulary was slim next to none.
Come on, shout.
When it came to music, y'all niggas' vocabulary was slim next to none.
Nigga, what kind of vocabulary do you need to rap about booty? Nigga, did you hear early 90s Atlanta? We rap about ass. It was strip club music.
I mean, y'all still could have put some metaphors and similes. Y'all niggas was like ass, butt, cheeks.
Yes.
Ass.
Listen, we was trying to get straight to it. It was about business. It wasn't no
Clearly,
beating around the bush. No beating around the bush. We let them know what it was. And then
fuck that.
Andre 3000 changed the game.
No, that's a fact.
Doctor and Kilo, Big Boy too. They changed the game.
Yeah. But speaking of eating around the bush, we got this nigga in the building.
Wow.
Y'all be having all. My bad. I done pulled out the mic. Pause.
Hey,
we just had a whole conversation
I said
about this. Did you put it on somebody's leg?
Hey,
did you put it on somebody's leg?
The fact he tried to be cool when he said that shit though makes it crazy. Like,
yeah. So it's, Mr. Catch Flights, not feelings. And I barely catch a flight, so I'm damn sure not catching no goddamn feelings.
You're just a harsh motherfucker for no reason, man.
You heard it.
You're just a harsh ass nigga for no fucking reason. That shit don't make no sense, man. How was y'all week though, man? How was y'all niggas week?
You were part of one of my week. Pause.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a small part, not a big part.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, son. That definitely was looking like it was about to get real weird for a second.
Real weird. Real ignorant.
We ain't here for that tonight, son. We ain't here for that tonight, son.
Yeah, I'm still drinking on that juice, too.
Hey, listen. So I tell the motherfucker, I say, I'm going to mix some shit that way you could sip, you could chill on this shit. So he's like, he looking at me like, I don't know. Till he tasted was like, oh, damn. You could drink this shit all fucking day. Now y'all see why I could sip the whole fucking show and it'll never look like I drank anything.
What you niggas was drinking fucking jungle juice? What the hell was going on?
Close to it. Close to it.
Yeah.
That's that Caribbean shit.
Hey, and my homie, he hit me up the next day. He was like, yo, how was it? So I sent him videos. He's like, man, he's like, that vodka had me. So the next day I saw him, he's like, my bad, bro. I'm like, nah, man. Everyone's had those moments where we went a little too hard before the event.
That's why you gotta take your time. You gotta take your time.
Yeah, the young bulls, they I know my hangover lasts 3 days, so I'm good.
3-day hangover is definitely crazy, my nigga.
That's
all right, man. We got a guest in the building, man. Tonight is one of those fortunate situations where I don't even got to introduce the motherfucker. Because this nigga actually sent me a video to introduce himself, which is crazy. But we're going to play.
I saw that. I was confused, but I saw that.
Oh, okay.
Are you aware of how others perceive you in your daily interactions? Rooted in the powerful constructivist framework, our one-on-one and group coaching sessions are all about you, your growth, your self-awareness, and your journey. Whether it's personal, professional, organizational, or spiritual, how you present yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually shapes the relationships around you. Through our specialized workshops, we guide you in self-reflection exercises that help uncover the thoughts and influences behind your actions. Recognize your level of self-awareness and explore how your assumptions align with reality. Learn strategies to build strong, positive relationships, engage with intention, and create healthy environments. It's time to empower yourself to reflect, grow, and foster meaningful connections. Cultivate the relationships you deserve, starting with you.
We got a doctor in the motherfucking building. What up,
Is there a doctor in the house?
What up? What's going on, gentlemen?
So even though the video told us what you do, introduce yourself to the folks.
Yes, indeed. My name is Dr. Eric Colman, prior military.
Extremely proud about that. Rep that all day, every day. But what I currently do right now, I help people unpack and realize who they are. The work is not about anybody else, it's about that individual person. Unpacking in the sense of self reflection. Because I think people talk about that a lot. You know, I self reflect, but are we looking at it on a micro level or are we looking at it on a macro level? Are we talking about this metacognition type deal of are we thinking about our thinking? Are we aware of how other people perceive us? Are we aware of how people perceive us in our relationships and our families, on the job, all those types of things? And if that is not in alignment with how you see yourself and how other people see you, then there's a disconnect there. So that's what I do with organizations, individuals, group sessions, one-on-one coaching, life coaching sessions. That's what I do. I help people deal in the reality and not in the perception of who they are.
So when you say knowing who you are, right? What is the biggest difference between how you see yourself and how other people see you?
The biggest difference, and I'm pretty sure we've all come across somebody where if you got 15 different people telling you something about somebody and they still denying it, that's a problem. And so if you think, and I hear when I'm doing coaching sessions with namely women, one of the major things that they always say is, well, there isn't somebody who has been created to deal with me. Or someone's not strong enough to handle me. So my very first question to them is it somebody that has not been created to handle you, or are people just tolerating you right now? Because you have a very high perception about yourself, but you can count on one hand of the, I would say, successful relationships that you have. Every relationship you in is toxic. Every relationship you in don't last no more than 3 to 6 months. You're always concerned about what you're getting out of the relationship and not what you're giving to somebody else. And people are always saying the same thing about you over and over again, but you fail to see or realize and accept that. So I would use that example, to your question about what's the difference between your perception of yourself as opposed to what other people see about you. If you're not willing to listen and hear the feedback of other people, you're never going to grow, and you're going to be in this perpetual cycle over and over again. If you don't learn the lesson, you're going to hit that brick wall no matter what other relationship you get into.
I have a quick question. Why do you think, and I'm gonna try not to gender war this to death, but why do you think so many people now lack accountability? Case in point, which is crazy that we even having this, because I was listening to the Pat and Remy situation, and I'm so tired of after a relationship, the man is dragged through the mud. Well, you eat ass. Well, the only way you would know he likes his ass eating is by you eating his ass. You know what I mean? Why is there such a lack of accountability on, let's say, both sides, and it's always quick to be dragged through social media?
There is in my book, Paradigm, Thinking Differently About Relationships, there is a statement in there that I say, to where if you really want to piss me off, say this: that's just who I am.
Yeah.
That gets under my skin real quick, because what you're telling me is there is an onus on me to have to shift, pivot, change, grow, develop. But somebody or God himself has
dubbed you and ordained you to be a demigod for the rest of your life, to where you can just remain the same and you good. There is a complete total lack of responsibility and accountability on somebody, and a complete disconnect from reality when we talk about this word called unhinged, when you are totally disconnected from reality, to where you think that you can just be who you want to be and that there is no responsibility on you. So yeah, that's what I think people's mindset is. And this all goes back to this metacognition thing of thinking about our thinking. What has that person in the past for them to develop their way of thinking? And that's the hard work that people don't want to realize, or people don't want to dig into and do the work to figure out, how did I get to this point, to me thinking that everything is about me, I'm good, and everybody else is trash. And a lot of stuff that we deal with in our adult years is rooted in our childhood, of stuff that we have not dealt with, we have not faced, we have not acknowledged, we have not confronted. And that is showing up in our relationships. That's showing up with that cat at work who don't do a damn thing. That's showing up, in these relationships that we're getting into, because people just fail to have this personal accountability. And it's a lot easier to see the log in to see the stick in somebody else's eye, as opposed to the log in your own eye. It's real easy to call out that stuff in other people, as opposed to you dealing with your own shit.
So I got a coworker. Actually, I'm their supervisor, and it's a female. Always, anytime there's any conversation where she doesn't get what she wants, or she don't agree with the decision that's made, it always becomes this: I have adult ADHD, I have anxiety, I have trauma, and so I can't work with her, even though I'm her supervisor, because if I go and talk to them and they're sitting down, I have to sit down so they're not triggered about me standing over them because I'm a man and they're afraid of me. Or if we having a conversation and I disagree, I'm mansplaining them, and I'm like, how do you get somebody like that to get out of their own way and stop making excuses for themselves?
I actually dealt with this situation, I want to say back in December, so about 6 months. There was a team member who is transgender. Went from female to male. And just those very things, anytime that I was holding them accountable for their workflow, meeting deadlines, the way that you're engaging with people, it's all, you not letting me be great, you not letting me be me. And so what I had to really do was, number one, from a work perspective, hold them to the letter of the law of, this ain't got nothing to do with your gender, your sex, your age, your color, your preferences, none of that. I'm critiquing you based off the deliverables, what I need to have you do on a day-to-day basis. Right. Aside from that, me being the person that I am, wanting people to grow, and I'm seeing past what people are saying, and I'm getting to the root of it. It really came to the whole point of, that person did not accept himself. And so they were projecting onto other people. They were projecting onto me anytime that I was holding them accountable, and they were falling short of the measurement. And they want to, it's real easy for people to go back to those fail safes of those, I call them distractions. You're trying to distract from what the real reason is right now. Look, you didn't turn in the report on time. But now, because I'm coming to you and I'm forceful, and a lot of it I have to realize is the way that people respond has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It's how you responded triggered something in them of how somebody else responded to them in their past or in their present.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really has nothing to do with you, but because of this trauma that they are dealing with now, because they have failed to deal with it, they failed to lay on somebody's couch with a notepad and look up to the ceiling and talk about it. Now, everything that happens in their life, it's your fault. It's somebody else's fault because I'm feeling this way.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes all the way back to the very first statement of people's lack of accountability. They just want to deflect and project and make every situation, well, that person made me do this. That person made me do that. You brought this out of me. No, I didn't. That was already in you.
Yeah.
And you allowed this situation to trigger you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a huge one to unpack right there.
Can I put this person in a box and ship them to you, and then you send me the bill?
I mean, hey, I could, because I was really blessed by the fact of I had actually put this team member on a 45-day professional improvement plan. And I said, your next infraction, you out the door, because I've spent 3 years developing the culture within my senior leadership team. And I understand you going through some stuff, but what you not gonna do, because you still trying to figure out yourself. And this is another part of it, because people have not accepted themselves. They're looking at everybody else to accept them, to make them feel better about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a gas station.
Yeah.
You keep going from gas station to gas station, filling up that tank off of everybody else, but you refuse to fill your own tank. And until you come to the realization that you accept yourself of who you are, and mind you, this transgender person decided to be a black man in American society.
Not realizing all the shit we go through already.
Thank you. And so as they are now matriculating through life as an African American, as a black man, now they are upset because they can no longer do the same things and get away with the same things as they would as a female, of the touching and the hugging. And they're like, no, you are presenting now as a black man in the workplace trying to hug on a petite woman.
Yeah.
Bruh, you come on.
I don't even shake motherfuckers' hands, cuz.
If you make a decision, you stand in it, and you have to take everything that comes along with that decision. You cannot pick and choose what comes along with that. And so that goes back to the original thing as well, of the personal accountability. You can choose your decisions, but you cannot choose the consequences.
Right.
I just feel like that key part of accountability is just fucking a lot of people up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, haymaker after haymaker. And then when you point it out and be like, hey, well, this is your part in why I may have reacted, or this is your part in why you're going through this, or this is your part in that, they'd be like, no. Anytime I talk to a female and she keeps talking about the past relationship and the past baby daddies and the past this, chick, you ain't healed. You need to go deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. So let me ask you a question. Matter of fact, Myron, you had a question. I'm gonna ask after that. Go ahead.
I forgot, man. Go ahead.
Roger, that. So, as a member of management, right? I don't care what branch of anything that you in. Anybody that's a lead supervisor, fucking manager, or whatever, right? How do you approach a person that you can clearly tell? Because all of us have those people that we can clearly tell you don't really know who you are, and you try and figure it out. And anytime somebody approach you, you blame it on somebody don't like you because of something that has to do with you, which you just ain't worth shit. It ain't that we give a fuck that you male, female, black, white, gay, lesbian, straight. Nobody really is thinking about none of that. You just ain't worth shit. So how do you approach, or how do you tell a person to approach a person that you know that clearly is not dealing, that clearly don't know who they are and blames everything on everything but who they are? How would you tell a manager or a supervisor, anybody, to approach that person?
What I do, my favorite word, my favorite 3 words in that situation is keep it clinical. And what I mean by keeping it clinical, I'm going back to my years of working in healthcare. I had to do a lot of charting on patients, their body mass index, their nutritional intakes, working with physicians and all that kind of stuff. It's when you get to a point, because we got to realize everybody don't want to be saved.
That's a fact.
Everybody don't. So I have, in my 40s, I have become oh so peaceful with the idea.
Man, nigga, you just hit home like a motherfucker. I'm with you. Keep going.
If you don't want me to pour into you, I will not waste my time with you,
nigga.
Because I will give you the shirt off my back, literally. But one thing you will not play with is my time.
Exactly.
You will not do it, because when I'm saying yes to one thing, I'm saying no to something else.
Why do you think
go ahead.
Changes? Why do you think that changes, especially for men? Once we hit our 40s, our bullshit meter is like different.
Yeah.
My bullshit meter was here at 32.
Bro, I tell motherfuckers all the time, I don't give a fuck enough to think about that shit. And people looking at me like, what you mean? I don't care enough. I got way more years behind me than I got in front of me. I don't give a fuck, son. It is what it is.
So I had a conversation one time with a different subordinate who is LGBT.
You have a rowdy house. You need a clean house, sir.
First of all,
trying to. I'm motherfucking trying to, man.
Easy deal with a lot of shit. Like, for sure. And he has for a long fucking time.
Yeah. So we have our member of the alphabet community that wants to be a victim all the time. And there was a tough conversation regarding symbolism in the workplace, where on legal policy, it's do for one as you would do for all. Meaning, if I let you fly a rainbow flag in your office, I gotta let the Trump supporter put a MAGA hat on his desk. I gotta let the Southern Heritage dude have a Confederate flag. So we don't allow no symbols in the professional setting. Like, if you got something that's meaningful to you, like you Catholic and you want to cross, wear a necklace, you can hide that shit in your drawer. Like, you can have it in your room, but you can't have it on display as a representation of the professional setting. So I got told I was discriminating because I'm gay. You're discriminating against me and my rights. And I said, young person, let me tell you something. In my time on this earth, I've dealt with more discrimination than you will ever realize. As a white individual, I walk in a room, they see I'm black.
Yes, sir.
You walk in a room, you have to tell them you're gay. So please don't talk to me about discrimination.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's amazing how that fucking works. Why do you think people choose not to take accountability?
Because it's easier. It's easier to navigate. It's easier to move. It's easier to drain others.
Do you think some people just don't know how to take action, or to
that too because of the examples and the environment that we're in. Now, if you grew up in a household to where you saw your family members, your mom, your pops, your uncles or aunties, grandparents, that no one around you ever took accountability, you think that's normal.
Right.
Until somebody tells you, and it's hard for you to comprehend. And so there's one thing in my coaching sessions that I do, there's an activity that I do with people. TSA, one of my favorite things to do when I go to the airport. When you go through TSA, well, what's the point of going through TSA? What are they doing?
Security check.
Waste your fucking time.
Yeah. All of the above. So what they tell you when you go up to the line, make sure your shoes is off. Make sure you got your ticket in your hand. Make sure you pull your laptop out. Make sure you ain't got no metal on you. Make sure they telling you all these things that for your personal accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Before you go through, do these things. What do we see as soon as we get up to that doggone that conveyor
one
belt?
fucking asshole wasting everybody time. I gotta take my shoes off. This ain't the first flight you took.
They've been telling you the whole time. The announcements, the security
just because you
guard.
decided not to wear socks today, your fucking feet stink. Don't mean you ain't taking your shoes off too.
Yep. Even the damn
especially
dog
when a
that's
person
sniffing
is
you.
a frequent flyer like me.
Yeah.
I fly a lot. I already know. Like I literally just got pulled. My bag got pulled at TSA, and I literally was like, "Bro, it's all camera shit." And the TSA did his little scan, and he was like, "Man, I don't even know why they pulled this shit over." Like, you know what I mean? I've done it enough times that I just know what to do. I wear comfy shit so I can take shit off real quick and put it back on. Because
I used to only fly in fucking slippers.
I still
fly the bitches off real quick.
Yes, you were prepared. You were prepared.
I wear a sweatsuit every time because I know my belt gonna go off.
Yep.
And that's the whole point of it. TSA, they're trying to make sure that before you board that flight, everybody is safe. And they're giving you information prior to it. And we talk about a destination of engaging in relationships. You're going to a certain destination, or when we have professional, platonic, or romantic relationships, we're heading to a destination. And before we get to that destination, going back to what was said concerning healing and dealing with stuff, number one, are we packing appropriately before we head to this destination? Because if you say you're going to the beach, but you packing like you're going to Antarctica, you're not going to be able to engage appropriately when you get there, because you're not going to have what you need, and you're going to have to spend more money, wasting time, resources, before you can even engage in the destination of where you're going. And so with TSA, when we get held up at the line because we got some contraband or some stuff on us that's not supposed to be there, now we get pissed off because TSA, they bringing out the wands, they pulling you over to the side, they bringing an additional supervisor over, they got the dogs out now sniffing your stuff, but you pissed off because you done missed your flight and you can't get to your destination, but it's your fault. But you're projecting on everybody else, and you're mad at TSA for doing their job. And not only are you holding yourself up from getting to your destination, now you holding everybody else up. Yep. So when we don't do this personal accountability on ourselves, not only are we holding ourselves up from getting to our destination or being able to interact in the relationship that we're going into effectively, we're holding everybody else up in the process. And we're sitting here pissed off because somebody else checked us. And it's a wonderful philosopher by a man by the name of Ice Cube, who said, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. And so how dare we not take a personal accountability to check ourselves before we get into the TSA line, but then get pissed off when TSA is only doing their job. And so in our everyday lives, because we refuse to check ourselves and do the baggage check and take personal accountability, now we project and get mad at our boss. We get mad at our woman. We get mad at our friends. We get mad at our family members because they are pointing out something that should not be there because we refuse to do the work.
Yeah.
What?
Right,
What?
Hold
Oh, my
on.
bad.
Let's get into our first motherfucker segment. One time for the one time. Take a little
I'm
break.
gonna forget.
Breathe on it a little bit. Hold on to your question, little nigga. Hold on to your question, little nigga.
Where the niggas at?
You on mute?
We can't hear shit.
Love it.
Talking to
What's
herself.
the word? What's the word? It's your girl Petty Ass Punkin back with another petty ass report. There are 4.05 billion niggas on Earth in total. Okay, 166.1 million niggas in the USA. And you know what I say? You only get one fat mile, so use that motherfucker. Okay. To nut or not to nut, Shakespeare or whoever said it. So I thought it was gonna be females here again. So I'm gonna have to reword the question just a little bit for y'all because it's all men. If you know, I could be grown for a second with y'all. How many times are you willing to nut in the night with one woman? Like willing, like that you can do. I'm asking because I recently, not even recently, it was a minute ago, had an experience where I fucked this man who nutted about 9 times in one night, and we only fucked from like 8 p.m. to maybe 6 a.m. 9 times. So how many?
Hold on. She said only fucked 8 only. That's
First off, y'all gotta remember she's still in her 20s. Y'all gotta remember.
Okay, all right.
She's in her early 20s at that. Y'all gotta remember this shit.
Okay, all right.
How many breaks did y'all take? Like,
how many breaks? How many Red Bulls and motherfucking?
So it had to be at least a break every hour. If it was at least 8 hours or 10 hours, at least a break every hour, he'll fall asleep, like, and get back up and get right back to it.
This nigga's refractory period is undefeated.
Old as hell too at that, like much older. I don't get
40s, I got 2.5. And
you got 2.5 and you go, okay.
It depends on what time it is. You get 1. Yeah. We'll try again in the morning.
I gotta go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
I gotta drop my son off at the bus stop. He got football conditioning.
Oh my
God. He got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I got about 2 sessions for me for the whole night.
That's what I'm saying. 2.5. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not that I can't go more than 2 sessions. I don't want to go more than 2 sessions.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
The question was willing, because I'm willing to go once and go to bed, go to sleep. Because we grown now. We got shit to do.
I see you in the morning.
You got stuff to do.
Yeah. When I was 20, 22.
8 hours?
I was willing to go all night.
Yeah, 8 hours is crazy.
But yeah, not 8 hours though.
Shit out them vodka and Red Bulls back in the day.
I mean, for me, I've done 4, but I have to really like the person. If I don't like the person, you get a half a nut.
No, you getting spitting on his
It's
back.
a half a nut.
No, right? No, this nigga pulling out and spitting on their back. That's what they're getting.
Hold on, real quick. Punkin, Myron, Eric Colman, Doctor. I don't know what I'm supposed to call you right now.
Eric is fine.
I don't know what I'm supposed to call you. But this nigga explained to us one day that he was fucking a bitch and he got tired of fucking. So he pulled out and he spit on her back to make it feel like he nutted. I don't know why he felt like that was the thing.
Yeah.
This is what he did. So now when a nigga say shit like a half a nut, it's like, all right, what the fuck does that actually mean?
Yeah.
Like niggas be actually wanting to know what the fuck he be saying sometimes.
Because he claimed he didn't start having sex when he was 4 years old, but this nigga did that when he was 16. So he had to have some advanced fucking experience in order to know she gonna think I nutted if I pull out and spit on her back. And now he talking about half nuts.
Is it
I'm gonna say yeah.
Nigga, have you mastered the art of nutting? Like,
my question to you, Punkin.
Yes.
Nigga hitting you from the back, right?
No.
Shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. He pull out, right? He spit on your back, right? You thinking, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how you mistake spit for nut unless it was a whole lot of spit. That's crazy. But we ain't getting into the conversation.
You put your dick in it and you wiggle it around. You know how you
Nah,
They can't tell.
First of all, pause. But your mouth way too juicy to spit that much that it resembles nut. Pause. Like it's way too fucking much, my nigga. It's way too much.
Nigga got cold.
So Pumpkin, you find out that nigga spit on your back instead of just.
You still don't know.
How you feel about that?
You know what I told you I do. I told you I do some petty ass shit. I told you I'm doubling back on his ass. Once I find out, I'm gonna fuck him again, and I'm gonna start pissing. I'm gonna start pissing. I'm give him a UTI. I told you.
Tell him and squirt.
I ain't gonna tell him it's squirt.
Right. What the fuck?
I ain't gonna tell him nothing.
What
the fact that you said
I'm sorry, doctor.
Wow. Both of y'all niggas is the
I'm sorry, doctor.
Look.
Hey, y'all ain't got nothing to be sorry about.
But nah, like I said though, if I really like the person, you can't get me out of the pussy. But if I don't, like last week I had one, I popped and she went to shower and I'm laying on the bed and she comes back and tries to get up under the blanket. No ho, leave. Like I'm good. There ain't no cuddling going on, there ain't no small talk. It was so bad. It was my hotel room. I started to pack my shit.
Damn.
This nigga said, no ho, leave.
You gotta take out your own shit, dog.
Damn.
You got so mad he kicked himself out.
I don't even want my reward back.
You know what, matter of fact,
shit, what you got going on? Fuck. You know, like all that. She gonna crawl up under the blanket. I felt that was disrespectful.
Yeah, motherfuckers is bitches. All right, man. What was your question? That got real diabolical.
Not this goddamn point.
Pumpkin ain't finished her shit.
He started packing his own stuff.
No, she said the nut thing. I thought that was her question.
That was my question. That's all I really wanted to know.
Oh, okay.
So speaking on that, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to call you. Cause what do I call you, my nigga?
Eric.
All right, Eric. I'm just saying. I ain't used to calling you fucking Eric. This shit feels weird to me. I don't fucking know.
But you normally call him. I'm so confused.
I call him his last name. This nigga was on the ship with me. I ain't used to saying niggas' first names.
Oh,
and
y'all
shit.
all see
You know
me.
how long it took me to say this nigga, call this nigga Myron? It took me a long fucking time to get used to saying that shit. A long fucking time. Like, it is what it is. But Eric, I know when I met you, you was a super spiritual dude. So I feel like that doesn't go away. I remember you was, you know, at one point you was pastoring, you was doing all that good shit, right? And I don't know if that's still what you do or not. I ain't gonna get into that part, but I want to know, can you be a super freak and be heavy into Jesus at the same time?
A Jesus freak.
I'm ready for this one.
You can be a Jesus freak.
I know.
Oh man.
Why you think I was going to church all the time?
I know.
Yo, shit.
Because
I mean,
I'm not gonna even hold you. I'm thinking about going back to church because that's where all the freaks at.
Especially Catholic church.
I mean, we all know this, but I mean, like,
go ahead.
A lot of them aren't heavy. They just go to church. They ain't heavy in the church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But can you be like nasty? Like
no, because the holier they are, the nastier they are. I need you to be going to church every goddamn day.
Look,
damn,
and bring that pussy over here afterwards.
There's some
wow.
Man, your ass would be like Preacher Polly and went on down.
Preacher Polly.
You sure you still want to be
here? Yo, there are some preachers' wives who love to say the Lord's Prayer because of the part that says, "Thy rod and thy staff they comfort me."
Yeah.
They love it.
Hey, I asked you, did you want to be here, my nigga?
Hey,
I gave you a disclaimer. Before you came,
this is quite entertaining.
I told you. All right.
Yes, you can.
I know you can.
It is not an either or. It is a both and. But it is within the context of it happening.
What do you mean by the context?
What you mean by that, Pops?
Now, from a spiritual perspective, from a faith-based perspective, Now, if you just go to church just to find your next praise partner,
I like that. I like that.
Facts.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I'm gonna say, we need to reevaluate that. We need to self-reflect on that. But definitely, I would say in the context of marriage, because the text, the scripture also speaks about the marital bedroom is sacred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever pops off and goes down, as the apostle, what's his name? Lord, his name went out of my doggone brain. Between who sing Between the Sheets? What's his name?
Oh yeah, Ron Isley.
Yeah, Ron Isley. Yeah.
Ron
Apostle Ron Isley. Yeah. Whatever you do in the confines of your home between you and your spouse, that's between y'all. Whatever y'all into, whatever y'all want to get out with, that's between y'all two. So there is no
someone else
Holy Ghost
into that bedroom.
Say that again.
What if it's inviting someone else into that bedroom?
Oh well, not now. You've defiled it because you've broken that covenant between you and your spouse. That's
so
that's
you
a
can't
totally
be.
Y'all agree?
Yeah, I was about to say, can you be in a poly relationship and be fully into Jesus,
or be Jerry and Becky Falwell?
Crazy is being crazy into Jesus.
Well, when we talk about the book of Ephesians, and y'all get me go all spiritual now. The book of Ephesians and the book of Timothy, it talks about being equally yoked with one other person, because it it's hard enough trying to be in tune with one person when you're bringing other people into that relationship. That gets real convoluted and real complicated. And then even from a I'm not even going to say from a woman's perspective, but when we are having more than one partner, especially when we're talking about we're in a committed relationship, you're bringing in needless stuff into that relationship. How really focused and intentional are you really being if you say, this is my main person, this is who I'm growing, this is who I'm developing with? But then, yes, if you want to get your rocks off and you bringing in other people into the equation, now you are opening up Pandora's box to where now, let's just say if you and your woman or you and your man have agreed, hey, let's bring this other person in just for some fun. And then next thing you know, they start developing feelings and whatnot for each other. You are inviting in stuff needlessly that should not be coming into the relationship. If you want to be poly, you don't need to be married.
Yeah.
You don't need to be committed to just one person.
Okay.
Then you should just go ahead and do what you want to do. Spread your love around. Spread your royal oats like the Boers from Coming to America.
Well, I call it like community service. No one really wants
wow, community service.
And there we have
you
it.
Following what the good book says and multiply, huh?
Can you catch the Holy
I ain't
Ghost?
trying to multiply. Fuck that. I'm over multiplying.
Can you catch the Holy Ghost at 12 and then be a throat goat at 3?
At 3?
Wait a minute. Can you please rephrase the question?
Hold on. Yeah.
Hell to the no, I ain't rephrasing my question.
He mean 3 p.m. He mean
Okay.
PM.
I was like,
I'm talking about. Wait a minute. I'm like, we talking about some pedophile stuff here.
The way he worded it,
Nah,
it sounded like all of us was
how the fuck did y'all get there? How the fuck?
Because you said 3. I didn't know
you said 3.
You said 12 and 3.
I said.
You said 12.
You said at 12, at 12 years old, and then at 3.
All right, so here go how we heard it. Here go how
Yeah.
we heard the question, Raw. And I'm gonna speak from a spiritual perspective. When you talk about catching the Holy Ghost, it ain't something you just get a couple hours. It's like it happened like at 12 years old. So when we heard that,
Yeah.
Grandma's in my
Okay.
mind talking right
Okay,
now.
how about this?
So
Can
say
you
12
catch the
a.m.
Holy Ghost at noon and
Okay.
at 3 p.m. be a throat goat? Because I mean, let's be honest, it is considered
You have to
sodomy.
define throat goats because there's a lot of like I asked him. There's a lot of people out here calling themselves doctors. So there's a lot of people calling themselves throat goats,
Yeah.
and they
Well,
can't even manage.
typically, all the ones that deem themselves throat goats really are more so like throat lambs. But it is
No,
what
they
it
not
is.
they not throat nothing. They top of the
Throat lips.
they top of the mouth titans. They not getting nowhere near the throat.
Well,
This nigga said top of the mouth titans. Yo.
I would venture to speak on that first part because you could very well be the throat goat, whatever the lozenges, whatever you want. With the other person. Let's deal with the first part of talking about catching the Holy Ghost at 12 p.m. up in church. Now that again goes back to dealing with reality. Because again, I will speak for myself of there is growth with everybody, even if you are a believer,
especially if you're a man.
Yes, just because you are a believer and you have been sealed by the Holy Spirit until the day of redemption and you are in the kingdom of God does not mean that right off the bat you are delivered from everything.
Right.
Please don't say delivered, because as soon as you said that, I heard that dude with the bow tie.
Don't worry about it, Hector. I'm exactly where you at, my nigga.
Y'all dumb.
So
I just wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna chill on that.
But there's this thing called sanctification. We got salvation, then we got sanctification, and then we got the ultimate glorification of being with God. As we are here on this earth, there is a process of sanctification. So just because if you a throat goat right now and you give your life to Christ, don't mean that the very next day it could very happen. We don't limit what God can do, what the Holy Spirit can do. But that doesn't mean while we're still in these earthly bodies that you automatically turn off everything that you've done. You need to continuously and progressively change your ways.
Right.
However, caveat that.
Just because you go to church don't mean you stop being a throat goat.
To caveat that,
my husband gonna need that.
You know what? So that's what you shift, you pivot that. But then there's two sides of the coin too. Just because you go to church, don't mean you a believer. Don't mean you saved. Let's get that clear. Let's get that straight. That means nothing. Just because I go stand in the garage, don't make me a Buick. I'm just in the garage.
Just because you put wood in your mouth don't make you a throat goat. I understand 100%.
So look, check this though.
So then also in the book of Timothy, it talks about again this self-reflection. People who profess, or even on the day when Christ says, they say, well, I prophesied in your name. I did all these things for your glory. And Christ will turn around and say, depart from me because I never knew you. So we got to do this self-reflective work of thinking, just because I go to church, does that really mean I'm in the faith? Does that really mean that I have confessed my life to Christ? When we talk about lordship, it's confessing, giving over ownership of my life to him. If you say, just because I go to church on Sunday morning and I'm giving my penance and I'm meeting my quota and I'm checking the box, that don't mean crap to God.
No, facts.
Don't mean crap. So that there's many different facets to your question of being in the church and being a throat goat. It's, are you really even a believer? Are you a believer and you're going through the sanctification process? So it's not just a cookie cutter answer with that.
So imagine though, if she married, right? Her and her husband go to church together, maybe for the first time, and she catch the Holy Ghost. And then later on when they get home, she could be a throat goat.
Holy Ghost again.
But that's
her husband.
Marriage.
That's her husband.
So, but You
That's
know,
her
she
husband.
she might still be single. Like we go through this shit all the time with everything. Like you get a haircut, you don't become a new person, but you feel good after the haircut.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Depending on how you was woofing, you do become a new person after a cut.
I mean, you look better. None won't help you, but still.
Listen, I'm an ugly ass nigga.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I've looked like this for a long time. I'm good with
But
it.
you feel good about your haircut, and like if you look a little bit different, but what's gonna happen to the hair? It's gonna grow back. So if you don't keep grooming it, you're gonna have to continue having a haircut and it grow back, and
Find
then
out,
you gotta
preacher,
keep grooming
easy.
it. So
Let me find out.
that's the life cycle. Is
Hey, man,
anything that you're trying to do and be, you got to continue to groom it. You got to continue to work towards
I
it.
feel like he channeling his inner easy like Sunday mornings, like he was doing.
Call him Bishop Easy. Call him
You know what
Bishop
I'm saying? He
Easy.
doing what he do. Hey, listen. So I know you got to get the fuck out of here, and I want you to talk about.
Oh no!
No,
Yeah.
I can go longer. I'm good.
Hey, yo,
this is good conversation. Well, you know what? Seriously, y'all. See, that wasn't even on my brain, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
He's the only one that do that, bro. He only do that.
Let me ask you this real quick, right? Yo, when it comes to, I guess, realizing who you are and taking accountability for yourself and being able to look at yourself to reflect and see what other people see in you. How much of your spirituality plays a part in that?
Woo. With me, because I'm heavily rooted in my spirituality, it plays a huge factor in it. But I would say that does not deduce just the average person. That does not, whether you're spiritual or not, that does not negate the fact of self-reflection. It just weighs heavier on me because of my faith. I guess that's really the short version of it. And so whenever I'm talking with people, there's 4 phases of the question that I ask people is, how are you physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally? And you wouldn't believe how stumped people get. And again, spirituality is relative to everybody. But so, and I will even take that one off the table. But when I start with the question of how are you physically, how are you mentally, and how are you emotionally, it typically breaks people down, because those are questions that we rarely and seldomly evaluate, that we think about on a daily basis. And so you sit there and you got to marinate in that thing. Well, how am I physically? How am I mentally? What does my emotions look like? And definitely, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, emotionally, do we really go there?
Yeah.
Do we really stay there and think about my emotions?
I think with the emotional part, I don't think it's that men don't want to be emotional. I think that, especially in today's age, we can't even wake up good without being called this or being called that, or this being said about us or that being said about us. So you will have people say, I want an emotionally intelligent man, till they get the emotionally intelligent man.
Yes,
And then
sir.
they know how to handle it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where
we want to be. And also for us, just like women, our emotions is tied to our security.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times we really don't feel secure being able to tell our partner this or that, because as soon as something happens that they don't like, that's why you did this. That's why you did that. That's why your mama don't call you. That's why. So it's like all the stuff that was vulnerable enough to tell you is the same things that you're now using as a weapon against me. So guess what? Don't worry about it.
I won't tell you nothing else.
And that's where the hard work comes in of when you're having these relationships or even amongst friends. Our partners are creating those safe spaces and safe places. Because I know from we know from men's perspective, we'll give you a little int, we'll say a little something like to gauge how you're going to respond to what I tell you.
Yeah.
And based off of your response will determine if I will reveal more and be more vulnerable with you.
Right.
And so yeah, exactly to your point, when we talk about, we really don't have the opportunity as men a lot of time to be vulnerable in that matter. But I praise God for my wife to where we have worked over these past 17 years to where we dealt with the little things to where we feel safe enough to be able to talk about the big stuff without fear of judgment. Because when we exit these doors in the morning, we got a world that is totally against us. And we be doggone if we come back into our own house to where we don't feel safe with one another to just be and to be vulnerable and to just let loose. She doesn't make me feel less of a man if I cry because I need to get this shit out. I need to get it out because I'm at work and I'm being the man, I'm being the boss. And even with her, she's a principal and she's running and she's doing what she needs to do at work. But when she comes home, she knows it doesn't matter how much of a boss you are at work. When you hit that door, she feels safe enough to just let go and just be. She's no longer Mrs. Steptoe Coleman. She's just Nikki. And she just can just fall apart if she needs to, So that's that creating that safe space and that safe place for people to just be able to really tap into, the emotions. So to your point, when women say, "Hey, I want a man who's emotionally attentive," and I apologize, but what I'm really hearing from the average woman is, I want a man not to be emotionally intelligent, to be able to express himself, to better him to be okay. I just need you to be emotionally intelligent enough to pad me up when I need to be passed, so you be in tune with what I need, not for your benefit, but for mine.
Yeah.
And that's what it means when the typical woman says that I need a man that is emotionally in tune to see what's going on with me. But when you let loose, like, whoa, hold on now, I wouldn't.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
And I've had that several times where I've been 10 toes down, heard all their trauma from birth till adulthood, and I've dealt with it, handled them with care, the whole nine. But the littlest moment, I might be not having the best of days. I might be like, "Hey, I don't like this. Oh, you bitching too much. Bitching. Oh, cool. Don't worry about it."
Yeah. I've dealt with where you share.
Hold that thought, bro. Pumpkin, what is your thought on that? I want to hear your side from a female perspective. I want to hear everything we talk about. What's your thoughts on that?
Exactly what part? What?
Like
exactly what part?
Like how the female wants a. What we just saying?
how in society it is stated that society wants in emotionally intelligent men,
right?
But then when you find that man who is emotionally intelligent, who is secure in his emotions and confident in his manhood, and he's able and he can pinpoint his emotions and tell you where that emotion is coming from and how that impacts him, and I need to express this to you as my woman. How does that translate to the average woman in society?
I think for me, or well, I guess the average woman in society, it might translate to that's somebody they don't want to fuck with type shit. But sometimes, motherfuckers like that do get taken for granted too. But at the same time, motherfuckers don't want to fuck with them too.
And then and to that point, that's where a lot of fellas we get friend zoned it.
Yeah.
And
So
then
now
no one is looking at us until they get into their 40s or 50s. Because now you want somebody who is mature, wise, and intellectual, who is in tune. But by that point, he don't want that person because they done been through the ringer.
Yeah.
And he don't want somebody that's not themselves emotionally intelligent at that point. And that's where a lot of women get. Like, I've dealt with where it's like, you need to share, you need to tell me, and then when I do, then it's like, well, I'm gonna do this and that different. In that moment they saying that, but then nothing changes. Like the same thing, we're like, I don't like when you do this.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. But then tomorrow they making a joke about it, or the next week they doing the same thing again. So it's just like, I give up. I'm gonna keep not liking it. I'm gonna keep letting you know I don't like it, but I'm not really gonna dive into it, like, because I don't expect you now to do anything about it.
Right.
You like, you hear me, but you're not listening.
Until, and I hate to say it like this, until that new comes around and she's, baby, tell me all your problems. I'll listen to everything you gotta tell me.
Well, that come with their growth, though, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know the same thing with us. Like, I know we've been in a past relationship where we learn certain things not to do with the next female as we did with that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with them. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, I fucked up. I didn't let him do this, or I should have been like this. So yeah, typically it's gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Roger that. And on that note, let's go ahead and play get into our little mid episode commercial brought to you by our sponsors.
You want war with the baddest bitch up in the game. I drive a hoe crazy, stay in your fucking lane. A boss, you a worker, bitch, we are not the same. 1K a verse, slide up on the track like I'm a train. Trench, bitch, volume 2, drop prices ain't the same. I'm a motherfucking monster like a shark with a mane. Hate a lame ass nigga, hate a boring ass bitch. I'm looking like I'm Lilo, that hoe looking like she Stitch. I'm looking for the plug, that hoe be up in the mix. I like cool, fruity bitches like a box of fucking tricks. The kiss up on this pussy, don't kiss up on my lips. Take his dick up out my mouth like, what my tip? You want war with the coldest bitch up in the game. One bitch, 7 niggas, and I treat them all the same. You want war with the coldest bitch up in the game. One bitch, 7 niggas, and I treat them all the same. Ha, 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 I'm used to niggas that be tricking off just cause they want to. The Maybach if his belly like Rick Ross, he gon' pay that. I like all my niggas fed and they big bosses. I don't play.
Yeah. Hey, so I be trying not to get into the, I guess, shit that everybody talking about. But I think this is one of those situations where it actually matches what we talking about. This is one of those situations where
why they did that girl like that?
So everybody, at the end of the day, motherfuckers, one thing about the internet, it does not fail, it does not lose. They will tear motherfuckers to shreds every chance
that girl don't even look like that no more.
Hold on though. I'm looking at these photos, right? and it looked like both Pap and Remy
Downgraded.
Wario version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
That nigga
Nah.
looked like the Wario of Pap, and Clarissa looked like the Wario of Remy.
Yes, I agree.
In those photos, but in reality, nah.
Facts.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
So-
in these pics.
Yeah.
So my question to y'all, especially to you, Doc, at what point do either one of these two take accountability? And which one of these two, talking about Pap and Remy, need to take the most accountability?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to defer because I have no clue what's going on with them.
Oh shit.
I'm in the box on this one.
Roger the fuck that. Pumpkin. Which one of Pap or Remy? Which one of these two need to take the most accountability in themselves?
I don't really know the situation too much either, not the details. I just knew they was into it and she kicked them out.
She definitely ain't kick him out.
She did. She packed his stuff.
Real nutty. If she did that part, I didn't know. If that's the truth, that's even worse. Because she did this man dirty. Hectic. How you feel about this situation?
I mean, you already know how I feel.
Nah,
about
keep
it.
it clean. Talk this shit, nigga.
No, I am. So for the longest time, these two on the top, not the ones on the bottom, because take this goddamn picture off, because it's distracting the fuck out of me right now. The top two was what, and I hate to say people looked up to, but this was the epitome of what we realized.
Yes, this was when people
wanted
said
to be
relationship
Black love.
roles. Pap and Remy was what people were talking about.
Right. And oh boy, and people be like, "Oh, Pap cheated first," and I'm like, Pap was up at her jail every week. If he did and such do so, I'm sure it was some stuff that Remy was like, "Yo, I'm locked down for a couple years. I know you a man. I know you need to get off. Just don't embarrass me." And at no time did we ever get any situation where she could have been embarrassed. She get out 2 years good off probation, and now she's sleeping with the help. Now that Pap has moved off and moved on to someone else, now it's a problem. It's almost like Rem wanted to go ahead and do what she needed to do, and Pap to be miserable, crying over her, stalking her in the bushes or some shit. And since he did not do that, every so often it's another problem, or she's trying to air him out. That's what I was talking about where she was like, "Oh, he like his ass eating." Well, I hate to say this, but if you know that to be true, there's only one way you know that to be true. I'm so tired after relationships, the girls be like, "Your dick little. You did this. You did that. You did this. You did that." At no time during the relationship was any of this shit a problem.
Facts.
Like I sent you a video of a girl that I know that she aired her ex or soon to be ex out, but you've been with this dude for many, many years, and now that y'all not cool and not together, now you're trying to take the victim role and play innocent like you didn't already know any of this situation going into it or being in it. And I'm so tired of that. Like that's what I mean about accountability. People need to take accountability for what they did during the relationship and stop running the social media after the relationship. Because realistically, none of us really give a fuck. However, it's entertaining.
I think it's crazy that for all this time, a lot of chicks are always constantly saying, "I want a nigga that's gonna hold me down, that's gonna ride with me, that's gonna be there for me, that's gonna do everything to build me up, etc., etc., etc." And people said relationship goals because they watched Pat do that.
Yeah.
Was in her by her corner the whole time she was booked. He up at the jail. He taking care of the youngins. Apparently, he was right majority of her bars. I do find it ironic that he said he wrote her all her bars and she ain't dropped shit since they broke up.
Right.
So I kind of believe it. You know what I mean? I do kind of believe it, but it is what it is. But at the same time, it's like They were the epitome of relationship goals. He rolled with her heavy.
No, black
relationship goals. They were the epitome of that. And he rolled with her real heavy.
No,
and she was creeping with the nigga, the great value papoose. It is what the fuck it is. And now it's like every now and then she's trying to throw dirt on his name. Every chance she get.
You know what?
Now that he fucking with Clarissa, and Clarissa never said nothing about Remy. Ever. Never said nothing about it. But you keep trying to
invite them to Christmas or some joint together. Like, yo, bring the whole fam. We could, And
now, Rem, you trying to dog her as well. I think this is the perfect example of where toxic masculinity in women goes wrong. And I think so many times everybody want to say men, toxic masculinity, and they discredit the fact that it's a lot of women with way worse toxic masculinity than men. The fact that any woman would ever say, "Oh, I'm a masculine woman," why do you even want that title? Yeah. Why do you want the title of a masculine woman? That doesn't make sense to me. You don't hear no fucking men saying, "Oh, I want to be a feminine man." You don't hear that shit. What the fuck do you want to take that trait for? You want to run the relationship, challenge the relationship, be the relationship, be the man. Yeah. Go mess with a woman and be the man. But you can't say that you are you living in your masculine ways, your masculine era. Yeah. But then if a dude challenges you, then he's zesty. It doesn't make sense. And this is a prime example of it don't fucking make sense at all.
Because you know what? And think about it.
I fucked with Remy heavy.
Me too.
This situation right here is making me look at her completely different.
And mind you, no one knew the situation till she put it out on Front Street.
Yes. You're constantly trying to dog this nigga for no reason. Like, let that shit go.
Yeah. See, here go the crazy thing with it all is when the shoe is on the other foot, right? If he went to jail, I've had so many times where I'm talking to some chick that I meet out, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I got a man, but he locked up, but it's cool if you come through." Yeah, like they don't have that same loyalty. Or somebody do get locked up, and it's like, "Bye, nigga. You're not gonna be able to do nothing for me for this X amount of time that you behind bars, unless the nigga got shit set up." Like a Big Meech or somebody that got money out there that can take care of them. But the average nigga is, it's like, bye. So when you talking about accountability, I think neither one of them need to take accountability more than the other, because they both got to take accountability for the shit they did. But I would say the person that's out of pocket the most is Remy.
Yeah.
Because of that whole situation. Like, no matter what he was doing behind her back, he ain't cut her loose. He ain't go out there in the streets and be like, "Nah, she gone till November, so I'm gonna be out here doing my thing." And
never saw him with another female. So never.
Like, and as men,
even to the point where he popped up with Clarissa, people were like, "Nah, this is AI. This can't be real." Like,
yeah.
But it's like you don't miss the well till the water run dry, right? So like when I got married, my ex found out I got married. She started hitting me up, talking about how much she missed me. How when we was together, she was just too young and immature, and like she wished she could have grown up. And if she met me now, this and that, and I'm like, you had all that.
Yeah,
everything I am today, you had. You fucked that up by going and sleeping with your baby daddy and getting pregnant again. I ain't fuck it up. You did. But now you grew up.
Wait, what? Hold on. What?
Yeah. It's a whole fucking story that I'm not about to tell. But
nah, listen, I understand 100%, man. My ex-wife literally, when I was single, we was good. Soon as she found that I wasn't single no more, "Oh, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
You motherfucker." Mind you, she did me dirt. How you do me dirty and you mad that now that I'm not sulking no more?
Yeah.
Now that I'm happy, you feel some type of way. And that's what's going on with Rem. It's like when you moved on while you were still with the nigga. And it was all good. But now that you see this nigga happy, oh, you ain't shit. Fuck you. And it's like that. What's the point of that?
And draws, that's like your draws be dirty.
Yeah.
You like,
Yeah,
what?
That's like a nigga that chick dumped him and he keeps showing up outside her house at her job.
Yeah,
every nigga that she talked to, he's stalking them on Facebook, threatening them and shit. He not happy. He not happy because she happy.
Yeah.
And it's like, move on. And it's the same shit as Remy is acting like a nigga in the woods stalking. Like y'all broke up.
Go ahead.
She is trying to like this. Not I want to say discredit, but like everything that we just talked about Papoose, how he was holding it down. That everybody see that. So she is trying to like bring him down. You know what I mean? So that's why she keep revealing shit and whatever. You know what I mean? She's trying to bring a different light on him.
Yeah, tarnish his image. Yeah.
But it goes back to what Dr. Colman said earlier about the individual at my job, my subordinate. They late to work. It ain't their fault.
Mm-hmm.
My mental health, my anxiety. There was so much traffic. I had a panic attack. It's not my fault. Or you're just being mean to me. I'm only 6 minutes late, whatever. Like, that's what it goes back to is she fucked up.
Yeah.
And the world didn't. This is between her, Pap, and that ugly ass nigga that she fucked with. She fucked
Mind
up.
you, people didn't even thrash Remy at the moment. People were like, well, we don't really know the situation.
Nah.
It was
that shit on video.
It was initially
Remy Hills from the rip because everybody was looking at that. They was literally the epitome of black love.
Yeah.
But
So
they weren't ripping her the way they would have normally ripped.
It was people,
son.
including myself, when y'all talk about like with the picture with him and Clarissa and like all his AI. I was like, oh, that's probably just some nigga in a rap group or some shit, like some nigga on the label, like that. You know, maybe that's one of Pap's homies, and you know how I was giving it the benefit of doubt because I'm like, why would any man
before
hold
everybody
somebody down?
before anybody even knew that she was fucking with the boy, motherfuckers was like, all right, shit looking real weird. So motherfuckers was calling that shit out off the rip.
Yeah,
because it was like she was showing up to games. Mind you, the nigga from Philly, she's showing up to Sixers games with this nigga. Like, why is you randomly? This your artist. This your artist. He signed to you. Why you at games with this nigga and you not with Pat? Like, nothing about this look right. This shit look real suspicious. Like, fuck going on?
And then
I'm with Pat. Blah blah blah. No, you not. You eating this nigga. If you act randomly at or courtside with this nigga.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like.
Well, the other thing about it too is that nigga need to take some accountability also, because if you one of my homies and you backdoor do some shit like that, so him and Pat wasn't.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
But even still, he know the situation.
Yeah, him and Pat wasn't cool, but Pat knew that was Remy's artist, so he was like, all right, I'm not really going to dive too deep into the situation.
So
and
I mean,
that's why he socked old dude, because he was like, bro, you been in my house. You shook my hand. Like, you did some real slime shit.
You ate at my table.
Right, kind of deal. You did some real slime shit while you knocking down my wife, which is still my wife.
So Doc, how do you look at the?
Oh, that he caught up now. That we caught him up now.
At this point, how do you feel about the masculine energy when it comes to women?
Oh, okay. That's why I like him.
That got real sinister, didn't it?
Take your time, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my time with this one.
Come on, somebody.
I'm gonna say it irks the hell out of me. First part of that would be, to an extent, I extend an olive branch, because let's be perfectly honest, some of us is no good niggas.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Let's be real about that.
I agree.
Be honest. and we have created some trauma with our women.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, with this personal accountability thing, women cannot remain in a place of making every other man pay for the mistakes of the previous.
Mm-hmm.
And this even goes to when we're talking about the children that we're rearing in our Black communities, in our culture. Women say they want a certain type of man, but contradictory raising Black men, Black boys in a feminine manner.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the point to when they get 18 years old, or when they start to date and take wives and women for themselves, women are pissed off that my man ain't acting like a man. He's not standing up. He's not this. He's not taking care of business. He's not providing. He's not protecting. But when that child was growing up, oh, this is my baby. This is my little man.
Mm-hmm.
This is my son boyfriend.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
I
these
want
mamas
to
are
protect him
still
at all costs. I don't want him to feel hurt or pain. But then when you won't let the husband, you won't let the father, you won't let the man, you won't let the father figures groom them and shape them into what men are supposed to be, because you want to protect their heart. But then you say you want a man, but we're not producing the men that you want.
That's how we got these new niggas.
Yep. So who was
exactly? That's how we got
YNs?
these new cats out here.
Yeah. Who
And
was
then when women show up in this masculine energy, because they are now arbitrarily taking on attributes, because they want to be bad bitches, they want to be bosses in the workplace and own and run and rule the world. But it's very hard for you to turn off that energy when you get home.
Yeah.
And you quote unquote, and I dare say the taboo word of submit to your husband, to the man who is really trying to do this thing right. But you are so concerned about control, authority, and the power, and I have to remain in control. How am I supposed to be the man of this relationship and lead you and guide you and protect you when you won't let me? And then I have to jump through hoops, and it's an act of Congress for me to prove to you that I have the ability to lead you. And that's the whole thing about men. With men, we have to prove everything, but for some reason with women is automatically a given.
So I heard somebody say something one time in response to a woman that said, I need a man that know how to lead. And the guy responded, you need to learn how to follow.
Correct.
And that broke her. It broke her because she'd never been told the truth.
Yes.
And as she listening to that, like you could see visibly, she sunk back into herself. Like,
I think I seen that. What's that? That dude. I can't think. The light skinned dude with a hat. He always be wearing the hat and the glasses. Was that him? I forgot what video. Like I think I seen it on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. I don't remember what he looked like. I just remember the conversation.
Yeah.
But like to that point too, like talking about women raising boys to be women. And you know, we can go all the way back to 1492 and explain some of the things that contributed to that and how society has contributed to that. But at the same time, there are male figures in these boys' lives, in place of their fathers, where they can learn to be men from, and their mothers won't allow them. There's a celebrity
until they need some form of discipline.
Yes. I've seen a video.
I know someone who the mama do whatever, but then when the kid does something bad or the kid wants something that the mom doesn't want to give them, go ask your father or go ask this person So now the father
dad's the bad guy.
is
Yeah.
always the bad guy,
Yeah.
or no.
And see, here's
But
what
I
happens
would
in that
say too,
situation.
I would say too, again from a biblical perspective, where men we have to take the accountability is we set the tone in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the good dudes that I, God rest his soul, Kevin Samuels.
Mm.
I'm
not gonna hold you. I was feeling you were doing your inner Kev. I didn't pull it out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't rock with Kev on everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say I ain't like to do it too much.
Not everything Kev had, but the crux of his message is, we, and this from a spiritual perspective, we set the tone in the household. The men, we do. If our women are out of pocket, we need to take that self-reflective look and look at us. How are we contributing to how she's out of pocket?
Mm-hmm.
We need to mimic. If she doesn't have the efficacy or if she doesn't have the capacity to do X, Y, and Z, we need to be the role models in that process. So when we talk about women showing up in their masculine the masculine energy and all that, it's we need to be the ones to where we have to make it to whereas they feel comfortable and safe to submit. No woman is just going to, and it's unrealistic expectation of us to say, well, I'm the man, beat my chest, you submit to what I say. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna fly. A woman is not going to submit to us or be willing to follow us if we have not made it clear and evident that we have the ability, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the know-how to lead her. And we deal with that on our jobs. We do it in everything we do. We're not gonna follow just some cat who just don't know what he's doing. That's the same thing.
But
they say we would have won him. We got to prove that.
To be in her to be willing to do that as well.
Yeah.
So I can't.
And I've seen some women follow and submit to some real fucked up where everyone knows this person is a fucked up individual, and they like, yes, daddy, yeah. What can I do? And you're like, come on now, like you've had real nice guys come through your life and approach you, and you all of them.
But see, that's
to go with this dude who don't have a job, a pot to piss in, a car, a license. He's still on probation. The dude has all the wrongs that you could possibly have as wrongs. And this is the dude that you putting up on the pedestal?
But see, that's not submission or leadership. That's manipulation.
Absolutely.
She's being manipulated by this dude.
Yep.
Is she though?
Yeah, because
it goes back to that accountability. It goes back to that accountability.
No, she's responsible. She's responsible for her being manipulated. But at the same time, like when we talk about true submission, so I think about my homeboy David and his wife, right? His wife is independent, like she can rule the world by herself. She's one of the strongest women I know. And he not one of them like lead with an iron fist type of dudes. He's real soft spoken. He real calm with the kids, with her, everything. Like if they need, I never heard them argue, right? And I said so, I was like, man, y'all don't never argue. He was like, we do. He's like, but you're not gonna hear it. He's like, we had an argument this morning, but the way that they communicate with each other, it's like he set the tone in the household. Like this is how we gonna communicate with each other. This is how we gonna communicate with our kids. This is how we are going to show the world who we are as a family.
Yes, sir.
And so me and my wife could be beefing like a motherfucker. The kids won't even know it.
Absolutely. Because here's a really big thing that I say to people all the time, especially when people come to me for premarital counseling. It's people are in love with the idea of relationship or a wedding, but not in love with the person they're with.
Right.
100%.
Because next thing you know, you're gonna spend $40,000-$50,000 on this wedding.
You don't even like this motherfucker.
You don't even like them, and y'all broke up within a year, but y'all still paying off this doggone wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why they bitter, because once finances get involved, then it's like you taking money out of my pocket. So now I got a reason to be mad, and they bitter and they slandering each other all the time because they got inconvenience financially.
Listen, I'm to the point now. If we gonna be serious, what's your credit score look like?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not taking on no extra debt. I'm Gucci. I can go to the car dealership, pick up something, and drive it off the lot. Can you? And if you can't, are you fixing that? Because I'm not going to fix that for you.
Yeah.
I can hear that.
Yeah.
Hear that. But let's get into our last segment of the motherfucking day. Can't go without it.
Yeah. Hey. 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 Yeah. Hey.
Okay. All you hip hop junkies, you think you know hip hop? Well, tell me what happened today in 2005. Better yet, tell me what happened today in 1989. We know you don't know. That's why Easy about to break this day down in hip hop for you.
Yo. Welcome back to this day in hip hop, where we actually really talk about this week in hip hop a lot of times, because sometimes today just was boring as fuck in hip hop history. But before I dive into the segment, when I was writing this segment today, I realized that most of the time I'm talking about birthdays or releases. So what I want to do moving forward is to find other events, because there's more that happens in hip hop than just albums dropping and people being born. So we gonna start to
people
pivot.
dying too.
Yes, people dying too, but there's shit like, you know what I'm saying, concerts and festivals and shit going on in the world. There's shit like so and so squashing their beef, shit like that. Somebody, there's a lot more going on in hip hop that's exciting, as well as the music and the birthdays. So with that said, we're gonna start out with birthdays this week. DMC from Ron DMC was born. Big L, happy birthday to Big L yesterday. CeeLo yesterday. Chubb Rock on the 28th.
Can we rock?
Can we rock? Andre 3 Stacks, the GOAT, on the 27th. Jada Kiss on the 27th as well. And then Lauryn Hill was born May 26th, but I found out that she was actually due May the 11th, but she was late. So, but yeah,
almost was a Taurus. She fucked it up.
She known for that. She known for that. But yeah, it's a lot of birthdays. I remember somebody was saying that.
First of all, my nigga, hold on. You out of fucking pocket.
What you mean?
You out of fucking pocket, because the average motherfucker is not gonna catch what the fuck you just said, my nigga.
What are you talking about?
The average motherfucker is not gonna catch what you just said, my nigga. That's fucking funny as shit. This bitch been late since birth. That's funny as shit.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She was supposed to be here on the 11th. She got on the 26th. It's all good.
That's fucking hilarious.
They said her pops walked out before she was born, though, because he got tired of waiting. So, but you know what they did? I read something that said your favorite rapper was most likely born in May. So I went and looked at all the rappers that were born in May. Or no, your favorite rapper is probably a Gemini.
How many fucking rappers was born in May?
They said your favorite rapper is likely a Gemini. And cause I'm telling you right now, my 3 favorite rappers was born in May. It was Biggie, Andre 3000, and Big L was all born in May. Shit's crazy.
I keep telling y'all.
One of mine is a Sag. Another one's Virgo. Couple of them are Virgo.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we really don't.
I mean, I hate. Name a rapper that's a Taurus.
Me, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Fuck you, nigga.
Name a real rapper that's a Taurus.
Wow.
How about this?
Wow. All right. we don't want to start no violence. We don't
Yeah.
want to start no violence. We gonna
All
move
right, bro.
on.
You know I got your back, bro. It's fact, bro. I got you.
We
Fuck
we
that
You're
gonna
a
nigga.
rapper to me, man.
we gonna move on to the releases. In 1993 or 1991, sorry, NWA released "Niggas for Life." I think that was their first album without Ice Cube. I think either first or second. I can't remember
That's
right off the
first.
top of my head.
It's first.
And then in 1984, Ross Sass and his brothers dropped their album Fat Boys.
Fuck you. What we doing tonight?
You put Marky D, dog. You put Marky D.
This what we doing tonight.
1987, Raw's favorite rapper, LL Cool J, dropped Bigger and Deffer.
Definitely number 2.
95, Naughty by Nature dropped Poverty's Paradise. 94, the Beastie Boys came out with Ill Communication. And in 1998, Boogie Down Productions dropped By All Means Necessary. So this week was a little crazy. This week was a little crazy. But yeah, shout out to the Fat Boys.
Fuck y'all niggas,
You
man.
pretty Marky D, dog.
Y'all niggas, man. Listen, speaking of music, right? So we got some music submissions, and I want to get y'all. We gonna get y'all's honest opinion. So the songs that we gonna play right now, I ain't giving no disclaimers on the person or none of that type of shit. We playing the music, and we gonna give honest feedback on this young man's music. It is what the fuck it is. You know what I mean?
What is this? An R&B or rap?
You gonna find out.
Muto season, dummy. Let's get it.
I'm gonna cut this off right now, bro.
You already got your answer, my man.
Look. Yeah. I've been tripping about stuff that been going on lately, like how am I making this work? This is that Lewis been leveling up, but it felt like my life been moving in reverse. Keep it a stack, I got burden stacking on my back. It's really been starting to hurt. We're praying to God, asking him to lead the way, get me away from this curse. People are lying right to your face, but boy, I can read you. Where was you at when the shots went off and the boys need you? Shook, doing my thing, welcoming in, they like, well, I see you. Cook, running around with the homies. I'd rather do that than be lonely. What I've been for a long time. Yeah, I've been through some hard times. Yeah, the world could be all mine. I can't wait for the day when we all shine. I'ma forever just be me. 5'4", nonchalant, black kid with the dreads and the T. Don't that kid make beats? I'm on a whole nother level for sure. I know I don't do this for show. When I start starting, I'm ready to go. Can't nobody mess with my flow. Remember them days I was rocking the fro. Ugly as hell, but I grew up in gold. I'm taking care of my family and mo. Man, it's funny how life goes. But minus my dad, I'm broken. Minus my mom, I'm broken. Minus my homies, I'm hopeless. Minus that girl, I'm lonely. Minus my brothers, I'm broken. Minus my grams, I'm broken. Minus the hate, I'm hoping. Minus that money, well, I'm just broke. But I appreciate y'all for listening to this, bro. It's probably one of my best songs, I ain't gonna lie. Yes, sir, we out.
You know what? That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. I mean,
It started out.
it started out real good. He was, he had the red bouncing ball, he was following the beat, but then kind of got off. But it still wasn't bad.
Listen, I'm gonna speak from an A&R perspective.
Mm-hmm.
My boy need to not try to be Chief Keef's little clone, little mini me. He could do his own thing. He actually can rap. I won't say he got bars, but he can rap. The beat was all right, but he got potential. He's not completely a wash. He not the kid I would just be like, bro, just go flip burgers and shake some fries this summer, dog. Leave the music to the people that can actually do it. But he needs some mentoring, and he needs somebody to tell him and be honest with him, like, find your lane, be you, Like, who are you? Tell your story, right? And he kind of did that.
It's crazy because this is what music is now.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is one of those situations where he was trying to fit in. I think this is one of those situations where this is what music is. So, you know what I mean? It's his version of what he's going through.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's what music is. But I think actually, like I said, because you know what music is now, a lot of people not riding the beat or they just saying shit on top of the beat.
Yeah.
So he started out good, like I said. That's what I was looking at, like how he flow, like how his delivery is on the beat. So he started out great. You know, the bouncer ball was, you know, right on beat and shit. But you know, I think it was one ad lib that kind of threw him off. And from that point, it was like, okay, he's trying to catch up with the beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that beat kind of whooped his ass a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my take on it. But I think, I mean, as general as Easy said, man, I think, you know, he definitely got potential. If he wrote that, I feel like he can only grow from there.
I doubt he wrote it. And that'd be the problem I got with a lot of these new rappers is they try to punch in and freestyle.
All punch is the whole song. Yep.
And I'm like, look, man, I used to be a freestyle king. I could freestyle for hours off the top of the dome, and I can't do it no more, right? But I ain't embarrassed about it. Like I could still freestyle, but I'm not like I can't just do it like that. Like I could walk in the booth back in the day and do a whole song with no pen, no paper, just freestyle it and then be good. Now I gotta write. Because if I don't, shit don't make sense. I'm just rhyming. And a lot of these kids are just rhyming. And it's like, pay attention in English class. Pay attention in these writing classes. Take a creative writing class. Learn how to articulate your thoughts in a manner that you can rhyme but still be on topic, where you can tell a story without having to try to find words. Like they ain't got no vocabulary. They just lost and trying to make words rhyme.
Yeah.
And so all this shit sound the same.
Me, as far as like singing, like coming up with an R&B song, I can go on the mic right now. Like if I throw on the beat, I can come up with
something. Fucking mic, nigga.
Shut the fuck up, man. You be thinking that shit, man. But I can turn on my mic and I could come up with something, you know, just listen to the beat. And then I would have to go back and write down what I said. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a form of like writing, like because when we write, that's what we doing. We reciting some shit and writing it down.
Essentially, you freestyle. Anytime you write, you freestyle until you get a bar, you write it down. You freestyle some more, you get a bar, you write it down.
But then you go back.
It kind of is what it is. Like,
but
I think all of us
make sure it makes sense.
Yeah, all of us in the beginning stages of rap, all of us are like freestyle kings in our own mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people are better than others. And I think some people forget that you do have to write. You do have to build that shit up. You're not going to be able to freestyle forever. At some point, you got to write that shit down to make it, as Easy said, make sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you also got to understand, too, is a lot of people can rap, but they can't make a song. That's a part of learning how to make a song.
Wow.
That's definitely a fact.
There's some songwriters out. I'm gonna tell y'all who I think one of the best songwriters is, and Raw, you can kick me off the show after I say this if you want to, but I'm gonna just say it for all the black men in this room right now. Taylor Swift is one of the I don't like her music, but
he didn't even know. He didn't even know. It's crazy.
I do not like her music, but if you listen to the structure of her songs and the lyrics, you're like, damn, this bitch can write.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't recall ever listening to one of her
songs.
I
can't even tell you. I
couldn't tell you what none of her shit sound
like.
So how I felt about the song, I'm not a collective person. I like everyone to like get in their own lane and do their own thing. And I hate that Migos, Triplet, I just hate that shit. Like, and it's been done for the past 5 to almost goddamn seem like 10 years now. It's just get something else. Like, come up with your own style, be original, do what you want to do for you, because there's only so many songs that he could really keep that cadence up, and people will be like, okay. After a while, people are gonna be like, all right, what else?
I don't know about that, man, because people said the same thing about the baby, but the baby be talking.
If you know, but the baby can fucking freestyle his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
And his freestyles are a lot better than his album shit. But he created that kind of lane. Like, he's not trying to sound like everybody else. He sounds like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you.
And
I'm gonna tell you how.
if he filmed this shit too from a videography standpoint, clean up your room. Clean up your room, please. It was so goddamn distracting. I looked at fucking clothes out of the dresser. Like, my God, you knew what you was doing.
There you go, my boy.
So, Hansie, since you're listening right now,
hold on, real quick. Here's what I want to say, Hansie. I appreciate the fact that you actually take criticism. A lot of young boys cannot take criticism.
Yeah.
A lot of these motherfuckers literally get upset. Oh, y'all just some hating ass niggas. It's not about hating. At the end of the day, you want people to listen to your music. If the people is telling you what they don't like about your music, that's the shit you fix. You don't just look at it and say, oh, y'all just some hating ass niggas because y'all don't like my creativity. Everybody's so creative. Fuck out of here. We don't do all that shit.
I'm not gonna hold you. Pause. The last part where you were like my dad, my mom, actually, that's really when I tuned in, because I felt like that was really coming off of some shit that you were dealing with. So I tuned into that versus the rest of the record. I'm not even going, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do it, make sure that you're relatable to whoever you're trying to market to, and do that shit.
Yeah. Me as a producer, I'm listening for, like I said, how you wrote the beat. Like, and you know, when he first started it, man, I'm like, okay, I'm on, you know what I'm saying? I'm up and down with y'all. I feel that bouncing ball hitting every down beat, every clap or every snare. What it was, I think it was the bass that he was on hitting on. And then like he did a ad lib, and it kind of fell off from there. At the end.
Let's see if his next song might change your mind.
Okay.
Gang, I'm blessed. Just trying to spend me a check. I'm up at Saks Fifth, just waiting to spend me a check. The time's changing, young homies becoming vets. Armed and dangerous with the bars like a Zeus Rose set. Look up at the sky, talk to God, dang I'm blessed. Need the cash, like I'm a fiend, itching for something. Give him the rock, and he gon' ball like Pippin or something. In this world, it's life or death. I live like it's nothing, just need to collect the check and I'll be good, no discussion. These bars came from a kid from the east side. Ain't you know some dangerous people that did some need crime. Ain't that crazy? Straight A student from the hood, glad to see it, cause where I come from, that's pretty good. I'm a menace to society, man, I think it's trying. People try to pass me, they can never get as high as me. I'm riding in the ghost, doing 90 in the high speed. I'm chilling with the bros, the homies straight right beside me. People like to talk about me like I ain't the one. Oh shoot, I got the gun, now it's time to have some fun. Call me Tony Montana, move the pack and get the funds. I don't actually move packs, I just said it for fun.
Is this nigga serious?
Yes, I am, best believe it. Way I rap on these beats, man, I make it look easy. No easy when I say let's get it, we go get it. I'm a boss, no Rick Ross. Some people think that I'm a lost cause, I haven't lost. And people think that they all got the sauce, but when it falls, then they the ones dipping. Don't let the bar go over your head just like a joke. Lyrically insane when it comes to this. Don't want the smoke, this ain't 2016, but I'm ready to hit them folks with the 1-2. People get mad whenever we come through. I'm a real boy, not these fake thugs and pro tools. I'm not in the streets though, I like to make beats though. If you got a problem, we can take it to the street though. You ain't gonna do nothing, recommend you take a seat, bro. My lifestyle critical on what the people need. If they wanna mess with me, they gon' end up in the sea. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Behind so this on the daily. They better not play me. Nobody save me.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Hey,
That was
This shit,
listen.
that shit
was-
right there went
listen.
hard. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
Listen, okay.
That
First
shit
of all,
went hard right
Handsy,
there.
he need to close the damn drawers.
Hey,
Nah, you know what? I
hold on.
respect.
Let me
Hold on.
talk
I
to you.
respect the
I'm just joking.
creativity.
Yeah.
Nah.
Wait, hold on. This is what the nigga just
Go
said.
ahead, easy. Go ahead, easy.
Let
I
me-
respect your
I just fuck with you,
creativity,
bro.
son.
He's talking about they
Do
got
what
the
the fuck
sauce,
you
but they the
doing,
ones
son.
dipping. Like that. Handsy, listen, let me tell you something. That right there, that's you. That's what that's the lane you need to drive in.
You're
That
right.
mother it's open.
This felt more like him than the other joint.
Yeah.
Like everything I said last one about telling your story and doing it, that's what I'm talking about right there, young blood. Like that's you. That's your lane.
Yeah.
That's your lane.
And
That
he
shit
wasn't
went
scared
hard.
to
I
make
don't give a
fun of
fuck.
himself.
Nah. And fuck what I said about your room, bro. That helped
Nah,
out
I
in,
said
in creativity and the video stuff.
I'm saying it because from a visual aspect, it's distracting.
Yeah,
This is
but that's the part of the song. That's the
I'ma be honest with
abstract
you.
of the art.
One of my favorite videos is Ilman Hobson, the one I think it was part 2, the one he did literally in his bedroom the whole time. That's one of my favorite videos. And the nigga just was doing random ass shit in his fucking bedroom. To me, that shit was dope as fuck because he ain't try to go crazy with the video. He ain't do all the extra shit, but he did a lot of extra shit in a small amount of space. That created a better visual than trying to spend thousands of dollars on a video because it made you pay attention to the bars versus the actual video.
Yeah,
it's not the room. It's not the room as an institution. I'm telling you from a visual aspect. It's because for me, I know what I look for in videos and movies. I do this. You see what I'm saying? So when visually I'm looking at something, I don't need it to be aesthetically clean. Like I don't need it to be sterile. But if too much stuff is catching my eyes versus paying attention to what's being said, I would go off and be like, I'm looking at it from a visual aspect because that's what I do.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something for him to learn from, right? And I say that
because he films it himself.
No. I wouldn't even say that. You looking at it from a visual photography, videography standpoint. I'm looking at it strictly from a bar standpoint. So he's hearing it from two motherfuckers that they've been doing whatever they did for a long period of time. Bar wise, he stomped on that fucking beat.
Yeah.
And I hope you made that beat. If you made that beat too, my nigga, I need a beat. I'm just letting you know now. Because that's my flavor right there. So if you made that beat, my nigga, holla at me, son. Real shit. Cause I'm ready to do some shit. Holla at me. But
he gonna blow his fucking top if he don't.
You did your fuck. He did his thing with that one. I'm not.
As soon as you saw me do this, I'm vibing with it.
Oh, I
felt like this song was more you than that other shit.
And I gotta say too,
real.
you said at the end of the first one, you felt like that was your best song. I don't know if that's your best one that we just heard, but that second one was a hell of a lot better.
Yeah,
that second one is a hell of everything about it. And I'm gonna say about the room too, like listening to the story, right? He talking about being a poor young kid from the east side. That's what his room look like.
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you saying, Hectic. But you got to understand too, like a football coach don't watch football the same way the average fan do.
Right.
So you looking at shit from a photographer or videographer's perspective, and the rest of us looking at it.
It still could have been messy and creative. It just seemed messy.
I'm be honest with you. All I heard was bars. I ain't even really look at the video.
That's cool. I listened. This is the first time I tuned into both, and I tried not to pay attention as much to the room.
Hold on.
As soon as I saw the room,
how about we do this? How about we look at it from a doctoral perspective? Doc, how do you feel about that?
What's your thoughts, bro?
I enjoyed the second one more so than the first one. I do agree with aesthetics as well. Even though making the simile of poor kid east side especially when he had mentioned, but I make straight A's.
Yes.
That was intriguing to me, because I'm not gonna lie, it changed my perspective in the second one, because the first one I wrote down, why is the hood always glorified in rap? Because we know a lot of people who didn't even grow up in the streets, but that's what we automatically sing about, as if you are perpetrating, you were from the streets. And so when I think everybody here can agree when we're talking about the authenticity behind what it is that you're singing about, and people can spot genuine a mile away. Like what you're singing about, there's no way that you're not connected to it. You're just saying words. And so that's what I got from the first record, as opposed to the second one. It felt more genuine. It felt more authentic. So that would be the critique that I give. Like, yes, young man, stay in that lane of being authentic to yourself. You may be from the east side, but you still getting straight A's. Stay in that lane.
Yes, sir.
Because there is an authenticity there. There is a reality there. Everybody from the hood don't have to be in the streets, slanging, shooting, gangs, all that. So that, and I'm always talking about your nuance, your niche, your even from a P&R, a marketing perspective, of what is it that's going to set you apart from. And I think Mr. Katz, you had said that earlier. What is it going to set you aside from everybody else, or what everybody else is already doing out in the industry? It's time for something new. It's time for something fresh that's going to catch the eye of that straight A student who still wants to rap, but now they have a catalyst out there that they can look up to say, hey, that is possible. Somebody's out there doing what I want to do. And that's what that's the market that you tap into. Don't worry about everybody else's market that's already saturated. Find your own market.
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of young artists. I've worked with a lot of young artists, and I had that same conversation because they very intelligent, and I want to sound like this one. I want to rap about this and that. And it's like, you from here, you from these trenches.
Like, you just got dropped off at private school. That is not your life.
And even some
I like that he referenced moving packs and then came back and was like, hold on, I really don't do that. But, you know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
Because I'm like,
that's why I said he wasn't scared to make fun of himself.
Yeah.
While rapping. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that like, I have to put this persona out here so everyone could understand me and feel me. And you flipped it. Like, as soon as you said packs, I'm like, he ain't really flipped no packs.
No.
And then you came back and was like, nah, I'm just bullshit with y'all. I don't do that. You know, I like that. And I don't know how young or how old you are, but
he definitely still in high school. I know that.
Yeah, I feel like the lane that you're in right now could even transcend the backpack era that we grew up in, where it could be fun, yet you dropping gems and you dropping bars.
Backpack, boom bap. You don't hear a lot of youngins being able to do boom bap.
And he rapping his ass off. And I'm gonna just say this from a reality perspective too. It's too many of our young men out there that have the type of talent that Hansi has, but they want to do the gangster shit. They want to do the drill. What's happening to these kids? That words are powerful. So if you're telling me that you're a shooter, that you a banger, that you got guns, guess what? At some point, somebody in them streets is gonna make you prove it, and we losing so many young men in this world because they trying to live that persona that they rapping about. And it's like, ain't nobody gonna be beefing with no backpack rapper like in the streets. They're gonna be like, oh, that's the kid that rap, right? You might look square in the hood, but guess what? When you up there like Lupe on stage at the Grammys, I bet Lupe was square as shit on that skateboard. But now everybody in the hood where Lupe grew up is like, yo, that's the kid with the skateboard, yo. Like he wasn't out there with the guns.
Here's what I'm gonna say to you, Hansi, however you say it. I don't know. I'm probably butchering your shit. It is what it is. But here's what I will say to you, right? I can't speak for Hectic, I can't speak for the Doc, and I can't speak for Myron. But I know for a fact, me and Easy have trashed the shit out of some fucking music that motherfuckers have submitted for us.
That's why.
Nah. Listen,
I've been on the shows where I was the bad guy.
Nah, Hectic. Here's what I'm saying to you. Me and Easy done trashed the shit out of some motherfuckers to the point where I know we destroy niggas' feelings type
It's
shit.
a couple niggas ain't rapping no more because of
But here's me and this nigga in agreement and showing you mad love, and we don't listen to a lot of new niggas, young
shit,
niggas, however you want to look at it. We don't listen to a lot of that. So for us to be showing you this much love, you got mad potential, son.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this.
Don't let that shit go to waste. That's the best thing I can tell you.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. As he just said, they give you a chance. Me, I'm still stuck in like nothing past 2000 as far as rap and R&B. So if I'm saying that you the truth, you got the potential. You got potential, bro.
If I gotta pay for it, I'm cool with that. I just want to hear you and Easy on the song together.
If I would have only heard the first track, I would have wrote them off. I wrote you right off.
100%.
The second one saved you, to the point that put your IG or whatever up in the comments right now. I'm gonna go listen to some more of your music. I want to hear some more of that backpack boom bap shit. Like if you on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, I'm about to go listen after the show.
That's what's up.
If you're still there, son,
Easy. We gotta make a beat, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
We keep saying, yeah.
I definitely plan on talking to both of y'all this week about that too, son. But we're gonna talk about that offline. We're gonna talk about that offline. You know what I mean? Because y'all know that conversation go all types of ways. It is what it is. But it's almost time for us to get the fuck out of here. But before we go, I still got a couple more pictures. And my man, the Doc, gotta tell y'all about his book. Before we get into the book, I want y'all to tell me y'all first thought when it comes to this picture, right? Cheer. Starting with my nigga Myron.
I knew it.
That's my favorite one.
What the? Why me?
First of all, the Doc is holding his head on this one.
He's like, you know what? I should have left the hour ago.
No. Hold on, real quick. So the nigga hit me up a couple days ago. He said, listen, I got a hard stop. I'm leaving in an hour. Fuck what y'all talking about. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it. I'm out of here, right? And he did the same shit everybody else do. So many motherfuckers be like, I'm here for 1 hour. Next thing they like, hold on, nah, this conversation crazy. I'm sticking around. These niggas is past their bedtime, all types of shit. It never fucking fell.
You already know me, bro.
Nah, when I was like, oh no, he was like, got time. I got you.
Yeah, I got time.
Yeah.
That's how it be every fucking time. So, Myra, what's the first thing come to your mind when you see this shit, son?
I don't know, Pornhub. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck.
This nigga said Pornhub.
What the fuck? I'm with it. Sometimes situation call for it.
Sometimes the situation calls for it.
To be a layman's term, it's showing how us men, we normally only masturbate one way, but we get called the pervs, versus women have to use all these tools to get off. And we don't call them pervs at all.
Wow.
And y'all wonder why this nigga is on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all wonder why this nigga's on the show. He's here for a fucking reason.
Hey, different eyes. He's in the perfect. He's in that perfection. So different eyes.
I still would have got it.
First time I seen this picture, I was like, "Yo, this is bananas." When you really look at that shit, like, this shows how basic we are compared to women.
Yeah.
The fact that they would even think about all this type of shit.
And I put a couple of those in some women too.
Oh Lord.
See, I had to go there.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But see, he say shit like that that reminds us
Why
he
he's
shut
on.
on.
Yeah.
What he does.
Yeah. Good
All right.
times. Good times.
Doc, first thing come to your mind when you see this picture.
Oh Lord.
He ain't do a good job with the application. That's all I.
His barber ain't do a good job with the application.
He might have got a little warm. He said, I need to cool down a little bit.
Wow. Yeah.
What's crazy is Buddy in front of him is comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
I knew Hectic would peep that. Like,
Buddy is comfortable with himself.
We
My
talk
man in
about
front, he chilling. Listen, I got the sunroof popping. It is what the fuck it is. This
different
nigga tried to
levels.
go extra and got hot.
Two different levels. Being yourself and being comfortable with yourself.
Hey,
and
I
being
agree with
fraudulent.
Yes.
I'm gonna say
a lot of people forget it's levels to being who you are.
Yeah. I'm thinking that was alfalfa after he got old and fat, and he just seen Darla down there in the crowd with her new husband, and his shit just raised up like that.
Only Easy would go that motherfucker far. And y'all wonder why this nigga's on the show. It's what the fuck it is. Hectic. First thing come to mind.
Wow.
That would be good for Hectic.
Woo.
What's the caption?
Say again?
Wow. Okay. Captions be killing me. Because the caption, like what the meme actually says, be killing me sometimes. But yeah, I mean, do what you gotta do. It goes back to that other meme.
No, I don't
sure about that?
I don't think you understand what's happening here.
He
Hector.
don't.
I probably don't.
That's the reason why I snapped him.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's Bruce.
yeah, it ain't what you think it is.
See, I knew he wasn't going to.
I saw it.
With the other people,
I was like,
he
do what you gotta
analyzed the
do.
shit out of
Wait a
it.
minute,
This
what?
one, he didn't even pay attention to it.
But see, that's what I'm saying. He used to seeing shit like that.
Yeah.
So real, that's what he gonna be thinking.
Facts.
Yeah. Like, you know, the pictures would be like, if you see this image of her, I always see those images.
Right.
Every single time.
Every
like
time.
clockwork. I ain't gonna hold
Every
it.
time.
I
Yeah.
don't see nothing but the perv shit every fucking time.
I'm trying to figure out though. I want to see.
Like, yeah.
I want to see her calves because them boots look skinny as hell.
Hell yeah.
Like them boots is for olive oil for Popeye's.
I
Wife.
mean, she's from the Mount of Caucasus, so she probably got some good, small thighs.
Bro, I'm talking
First of
like
all,
I thought you were about to say something.
yeah.
the chick who originally posted this felt the same way we did. I need to get a little closer to the Lord.
Yeah.
Trust me, she was thinking what we were thinking.
We was thinking,
Yeah.
and the helmet too. I was like,
Is that a helmet?
yeah,
Yes.
Oh, show up.
yeah.
Looks like a helmet.
Oh, so
That's not a sack of balls.
Listen, you know what's crazy? Someone else that is into that probably was like, challenge accepted.
Yep, she want to get them boots. Go get the boots.
challenge
I need to
accepted.
find those boots.
Right. Right.
Facts. So Doc, before you talk about your book, right? Was this not what you expected?
Yeah, no.
I gave him a disclaimer, dog.
Well, nah.
The nigga said he seen some clips and was like, "Oh, y'all talk about some real shit," and I'm like, clearly he don't watch the full episode.
No, he just talked clip. But I gave him a disclaimer, dog, before we jumped on it.
Oh.
But this was fun, man. This was awesome.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So you are a author, you are a sailor, you are a doctor. You done did a whole lot of shit in the time that I've known you, man. So tell everybody, man, you on your what, second, third book?
This is the fourth one.
Yeah, it's
My
four.
bad.
Oh,
Damn.
congrats.
This is book number
Congrats.
4.
Yes.
My apologies, my nigga. I
Yep,
disrespected your
already
kids.
got book number 5 in the works.
Bro, let me finish. Let me finish the last one, like I told you.
Hey, it's not gonna come out for like another year. You know, give it some space. But
You got a
yeah.
year.
Tell everybody
You gotta
about
be a
your
fast reader.
Tell everybody about your book that you have out right now. Where they can
Yes,
find it, what it's about, all that type shit.
It's called it is actually a sequel to the last one, Paradigm, Thinking Different About Relationships. So this one is called A Deeper Conversation About Relationships, Unhinged, Irrational Perceptions, Disconnect Us from Reality. And the premise of this book is unhinging from chaos and hinging to stability. And so I'm using the play on the word unhinged from the typical definition would mean if somebody is unhinged, they are disconnected from reality. And so this book is a call to action for people to become unhinged in a different way, meaning to unhinge from chaos, to be hinged in your life. And so that means to be hinged in stability, hinged in your frame of thinking, how you navigate the world, how you navigate people. You're getting off of this hamster wheel of being in constant cycles and processes that are not taking you anywhere. You're reevaluating your relationships, you're reevaluating yourself. And from the last book of Thinking Different About Relationships, it's one thing to acknowledge something, but it doesn't matter if you acknowledge it if you're not actually going to do the work to move towards being hinged. So just like if we wake up in the morning, we go look in the mirror, it makes no difference if you look at yourself in the mirror, but if you're not willing to get the boogers out your eyes, if you're not going to wash your face, if you're not going to comb your hair, who cares that you looked in the mirror? Yeah, I self-reflect, but I'm not doing the intentional work on myself to make sure that I'm presentable when I step outside the house and present myself to the world. So that is the crux of what unhinged means. It's doing that self-reflective work, deeper dive, and making sure that I am not continuing to do this thing when we call insanity of doing the same things over and over and over again, but you're expecting a different result. So especially when we go into different relationships, I'm moving from relationship to relationship and expecting to get a different result from another person and putting the unrealistic expectation on them to make the relationships better. But I have chosen not to learn the lesson. I have chosen, as we talked about tonight, I have chosen not to heal and to do that self-reflective work on myself so I can enter into these new relationships, not to per se better the other person, but I'm going or looking at the other person to better me. I've bettered myself with or without you. So that's really the premise of the whole book of unhinging from chaos and hinge yourself to stability in life.
It's funny. I had a conversation with one of my homies a couple years back, female, and she was saying how she keep meeting all the wrong dudes, blah blah blah. She kept blaming all the dudes that she messed with for all the shitty relationships. So I said to her, I said, "Well, won't you stop meeting the same type of dudes in the same type of places?" So she said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Well, if every nigga you meet ain't worth shit and you meet all of them at the bar, I said, won't you start meeting niggas at the grocery store?
There you
meet
go.
a nigga in the park.
There you go.
On the fucking library.
Because it ain't that tight.
You keep meeting the same motherfuckers. Now, I'm glad you said that. She says, well, I don't like corny ass dudes. I said, well, maybe you actually need a corny ass dude. She's like, what I'm gonna do with that? I said the same thing that you're not doing with the not corny dude.
Word up.
So now she looking at me like, what the fuck is you like? You tripping right now? I said, you looking for all this extra excitement when maybe you don't need the excitement. The excitement is what's not working for you.
Absolutely.
But you keep going for the exciting niggas. At some point, most females in their 20s, they want the street nigga.
Yes,
then
sir.
They hit 30, they want a nigga that's halfway in the streets, halfway out the streets. Then they hit 40, they want a nigga completely out the streets.
Mm-hmm.
They want a
But,
total square.
but here's the
And
crazy
then you
part.
want us to accept everything that you got coming into it.
All the
And
bags.
this is what I tried to explain
All
to
the
her.
baggage.
She's like, oh, that don't make no sense. Why I gotta dumb myself down? I said, but it's not about dumbing yourself down, but at the same time, maybe you putting yourself higher than you need to be, or your expectations is out of range.
You are.
Realistic expectations.
You
Look,
looking for the
it's-
motherfuckers that you shouldn't be with because it's fun. But now, when you all fucked up and beat the fuck up and your mentals is all wrong, now all of a sudden you got 17 kids, but you want a nigga that's gonna take care of you and your kid, deal with your bullshit, and have to deal with the baggage from all them other niggas, but he's supposed to just deal with it. That shit don't work that way.
And she don't qualify.
A great philosopher named Sean J.Z. Carter once said about this girl named Isis. She want this Broadway life. She loved the Gucci sneakers, the reds, greens, and whites. She was hanging out the window when she first seen them fight, and she was so turned on that she had to shower twice because Isis liked this Broadway life. But it was a dude named Shy who would really treat her right. He wanted to run away to the country and escape the city life, but she wanted to go on the bike with Mike and do wheelies and shit. So her son ended up getting killed by his father because she didn't have the capacity to settle herself down and be ready for a man who could be a man and a husband and a father to her and her child. She wanted the street nigga. And then when it was too late, she tried to get with Shy, but her choices led to her son getting killed. Your choices are leading to your detriment, to your children's detriment, ladies. Stop trying to have fun all the time and settle down.
I had one.
Get your ass down.
We were talking now, mind you, she told me about every dude previously that beat her ass. So as we talking, she's like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work." I was like, "Oh, why?" She's like, "Yeah, you're not thug enough for me." I was like, "Oh, because I don't beat bitches' asses." Gotcha. Have fun with that one.
Yeah,
That's like, real shit.
If we gotta, like, as men, we come home to peace.
Yes, sir.
We want to come home to peace.
Don't take my peace.
And if we gotta come home to fight,
we
gotta find reasons. We gonna find reasons to not come home.
Exactly.
Women got to start understanding that. It's like, and the shit. I don't know what kind of daddy issues these women be having, but they love that shit.
Yeah.
But
y'all hear, this is the least marrying generation ever.
Yeah, it is.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because men are like, oh, if this don't work out, you take half of my shit.
Yeah.
And I work for, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, it ain't that. It's everything that's glorified now too. You know how females is how females are, and you know females are and dudes they making it seem like it's fun to have like side pieces and all that. You know what I mean? So it all that plays a part now.
One of the conversations that I hate is when they talk about going half, and all the women is like, well, my grandmother never had to go half. I'm like, your grandparents' rent was $30.
Yes, different climate.
Thank you.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? When I hear these conversations, I don't look at the fact of what life was then, right? What I look at is, are you gonna be how your grandma was?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, let's keep it a bean. Grandma didn't work. She ain't had to leave the crib for nothing. She knew for a fact them bills was gonna get paid. She knew for a fact that food was gonna be in the crib and all that. But grandma made sure the house was clean. She made sure the business was right, and she was on her knees eating dick every chance she had.
And grandma wasn't tripping about where he been all night.
Grandma ain't talk back. Grandma was like, "Hey, food in the fridge, food in the microwave, food on the
plate
stove,
in the oven.
Whatever needs to be."
Remember, some pop-pops had a whole family on the other side of the city.
Some pop-pops had a whole street that they had all their 41 kids by 7 women. And they all,
especially in the South. That shit was
yeah.
heavy back then.
Yeah.
But see, chicks they don't understand what
if they want to pick and choose what they want to benefit off
you
of.
can't get portions of the old school shit. You gotta actually be that. You can't say, oh, I'm not gonna cook, but you still gotta take care of the bills. Oh, I'm not gonna clean, but you still gotta protect. Nah, that's your 50.
Yeah.
That is your 50. Your 50 is the house. His 50 is making sure the house is paid. Your 50 is making sure the house is maintained.
Yeah.
They don't understand that part.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I tell my wife.
That 50-50 conversation be my go-to. Yeah. So what's your standpoint on this 50-50? And as soon as they be like, well, a man's supposed to, you paying 100% of your goddamn bills right now.
Yeah.
I actually seen
use my money to.
I actually seen a chick say that she would rather pay 100% of her own bills before she go half on anything with a man. And I said, you was a sad, lonely ass bitch.
Yeah.
Real shit.
You gotta go half. You can keep paying 100%.
Lonely for a long
keep paying 100%.
time.
You keep it. I tell my wife all the time when she's talking about she want this and that, I'll be like, look up. What you see. Long as that stay up there above your head, open the refrigerator.
No, for the last, here's some funny shit. For the last 10 years, my wife is like, yo, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, fuck out of here. You don't want that shit. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Fuck out of here. So here's what's crazy. We about to move down here. My wife about to move down here to Texas. You know, the first thing she said was, I got to find a job before I get down there. I say, well, just come down here. We'll figure it out, you know. Nah, fuck that. I need to find a job before I get down here. Because at the end of the day, I didn't marry the type of woman that wants to sit around and do absolutely nothing. If I told my wife she didn't have to pay for shit and I take care of it, she would go nuts. She wouldn't know what to do with herself because she ain't gonna be with it.
Yeah,
she probably still at work and put money up to make sure y'all got savings.
My wife, wait, dog. She already said.
My wife is spender, my wife is spender.
I'm the spender. But no, my wife already said if we won the lottery, she still would have to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody ain't the same. Everybody ain't built the same.
Am I the only non-relationship married person on this goddamn panel?
Yeah, you the only in the building. Yes.
Yeah. You the only.
So we know what you do, so you continue to have fun.
You the only nigga. You the only
live
nigga.
through you.
You the only one still off the porch. You the only one running around the yard.
No, wait. Fuck off the porch. You the only nigga that's outside the door.
Yeah.
The rest of us is in the crib. The rest of us is in the crib with our feet up and our recliners chilling. You the only nigga that's like, I wonder what's outside. Yeah, we ain't doing all that shit, nigga.
Just running around street lights on. You still outside.
Yeah. Nobody tell you come in.
Facts. But on that note, man, it's about time we get the fuck out of here, man. This has been a hell of a conversation. I'm telling you, every single time I find it hilarious when the motherfucker tell me, hey, I got a hard stop at this time. And then I try to respect their time. You said you got 20 minutes. At 19 minutes, I'm like, all right, it's time for them to get out of here. They be like, oh no, nigga, nah, I ain't going nowhere.
They be like that D.L. Hughley joke.
I miss a little bit of sleep for this one. What the fuck is you talking?
They be like that D.L. Hughley joke about Jesus with the water and the wine. It's like, you don't do this, but it's going to keep the party going.
It is what it is, but
it's well worth it. Thank you, gentlemen.
No, thanks. This is the time where we give everybody time to talk that shit. Let everybody know who you are, what you got going on, all that fly, funky shit. So talk your shit, little nigga.
You gonna chill with that little nigga shit. But y'all can find me on Instagram, the same name right here. Facebook. I ain't got really nothing going on right now, but yeah, I do make music and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get back into it. My baby girl, she getting grown now, so I can get back into it. So hit me up if you want music or anything like that.
Roger the fuck that. Darkness.
You already know what time it is, man. It's your big homie, Big Easy. Just check me out everywhere. Easy to General, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, easytogeneral.com. Go check the music out on all streaming platforms. And I guess keep saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm working on the next project, part 2 to the Book of Easy. Working on putting together a little something special. I know I keep talking about it, but I don't necessarily like to explain shit until I know I got all the ducks in a row. So once everything is confirmed and solidified, I'll let y'all know what I've been working on in terms of that. But yeah, man, fuck with me.
I'm trying to be a part.
Hey, you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. So
I got time.
We'll link.
Yo.
All right, so it's me, Hectic. Go and check out my YouTube channel. I definitely thank you all. In the past, I don't know, 2-3 months, me and Raw have been a little bit competitive as far as this YouTube thing been going, and I hit over 50,000 views by just doing different things. So thank you, Raw, for keeping me on track. Go on YouTube on HD Nation Network. That's HD Nation Network. You have both of my shows. You have Whatever by Hectic, where sometimes I have your favorite, I don't know, even if they're not your favorite adult person on there. I've been switching it up a little bit more, been having more people that have other stories to tell. And Beyond Pixel, where I, rate stuff, or I talk about anime, or I talk about movies, or, something that has really been brought on my heart to speak about. A couple stuff I'm already got scripts written for. I just got to find time to do it. Consistency is definitely key. So I did promise the people that I will drop one episode on Beyond Pixel once a month. So I'm gonna be held to that. The war on sex workers on social media that just dropped yesterday. So go and check that one out. There is a clear war on people that do sex work. And it's not even about the sex work. It's about where.
How the fuck you randomly start echoing? What the fuck?
Yeah. For me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Randomly out of nowhere, like you yelling at a canyon or some shit.
Bro, I have no idea what's going on. But go check that out. It's about the war on sex work as far as celebrities and these influencers could be on the web, on even Instagram, butt booty naked. But as soon as the sex work posts a picture fully clothed, they get flagged, and not the celebrities. I'm all about being fair, firm, and consistent, and it's time for these social medias to be held by the same standards that they want to put everybody else to. So go check that out. There's some very, very great information. So go to HD Nation on YouTube.
Hey man, I need you to talk to your people, man. Why Pornhub is why it's banned in Florida? Talk to your people, man.
That's your governor.
I was just there. I was just there in your neighborhood.
Huh?
I was just there.
Oh, for real?
I was in your neck of the woods. Yeah.
Where at?
I was in Jayville. I was in Duval.
Oh, yeah, you definitely was in my neck of the woods. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, for me, I love that it's being banned more places, so people have to go and subscribe to the needed websites. But I don't know. Other people feel differently about it, so whatever.
Nah, I definitely feel you on that
Yeah.
that site, on that part. So
fuck that. Porn ain't free. That's some bullshit.
Take the work.
Hey man, it's just like the music now, man. Like the music industry, like how the artists not getting paid and shit. So yeah, I mean, I'll feel them on that. So
Roger the fuck that. Doc, talk your shit.
Yes, sir. So you can follow me, Dr. Eric Colman, on Facebook and LinkedIn. I do have a YouTube channel as well. Working on my 4th season now. That should be coming out pretty soon. And you can follow me or check me out, drcconsulting.org online. And just to encourage everybody to, with the self-reflection stuff, Identify your areas of growth. Confront the past. Listen. Face facts. Deal in reality. Get out of your own way. Learn the lesson. Do the work and be honest with yourself. Peace.
Where can they find your books at?
That's what I was literally going to ask.
All books can be found on Amazon.
Do you have an audiobook version?
No.
I do not have audio yet. I am actually in the works on those as well. So yeah, all paper and hardback.
I know a couple females that like to read books, and they do audio book version shit. I'm trying to be serious, my nigga. Yeah.
I know a couple who like to read books.
What?
He's saying it like an old slave master. I know a couple who like to read.
I know a couple.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
Bitches in these books.
They want to get it. I know. All right, how about I rephrase it? I know a couple females that want to get into like voice acting, so they trying to do like book readings for people's audio books.
I do it also.
Yeah, I be trying, man. I don't know what the fuck wrong with y'all niggas these days.
No, hold on. So real quick before we get out, hey, y'all need to give Raw his flowers. I'm not even on. Raw is quick to connect and network other people with other people. So definitely, he needs to definitely get his flowers because he would just do some shit on the humbug. You don't even know. He'd be like, "Yo, I just told someone about you. Look at your DM." He'd be like, "Wait, what?" Like, just out of the blue. So, Raw, thank you for that.
Yes,
like
indeed.
I said, even with me and you always checking our numbers and going back and forth, like that keeping me motivated to keep putting stuff out there. So I just definitely want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I'm one of them motherfuckers, man. I feel like I don't need to get the love that I show, but I show a lot of motherfuckers love. If I know you doing something decent and it's another motherfucker that you could rock with or y'all can help each other, it ain't about me all the time. And I think a lot of people need to get out their way and realize everything ain't always about you. I don't ask nobody for shit. When I connect motherfuckers, I tell motherfuckers all the time, I ain't got nothing to do with what y'all do. I'm connecting two like-minded people that I feel like can help each other, can work with each other.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure out of all of us on here, Easy probably the main one that's like, damn, nigga, you always got me inboxing some fucking body. But it's always somebody that's either a producer, do music, a videographer, somebody that need a beat. Like, it is what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And I've been doing this shit since I met the nigga.
For sure. I gained so many connections after even the first time being on All on the Table. It was like people out the woodworks like, yo, fuck with me. Raw told me to hit you up, or you send me somebody, and then the shit. Like we still got to put out the track with Money Mac.
Facts.
Like,
hold on to it.
Oh,
so
no,
I was gonna say, I think that would. So I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna say it out loud, right? It is what the fuck it is at this point. I have been pondering, and I've been in my head saying to myself that I want to go crazy with some music. And me and Easy was supposed to be working on a project together. And instead of me trying to do a solo project, because I know I'm not going to be focused if I do a solo. So myself, Easy the General, and I know it's one other person. I ain't going to say his name, but I know once I holler at him, he's going to be all the way on board. We're going to drop this 80s Babies mixtape. It's happening.
It's happening.
I'm saying, and y'all already know if I say it out loud, it's going to happen. It is what the fuck it is. And I'm saying it out loud. That's why I said, y'all two niggas, I already had it in my mind to hit y'all two niggas up because I want y'all two to work on a beat. I got something specifically in mind that I want. And I feel like both of y'all working on it together would actually be crazy.
Yeah.
So it's happening. It's going the fuck down. Y'all heard it first. It is what the fuck it is. Amen. And on that note, y'all know what the fuck it is, man. We here every motherfucking Sunday talking our shit. Doc,
Saturday.
we appreciate you showing up and talking your shit with us.
Definitely.
Sorry we kept you up past your bedtime, but you know, hopefully the wife don't fuck you up too much.
Shit, I'm an old motherfucker. I should be asleep right now.
In fact, this nigga really go to bed at like 6 p.m. Like that shit is bananas.
This nigga go to bed with the chickens and wake up with the hens.
I got 4-year-old, bro. I got 4-year-old.
Hey, Hansi, if you still out there, if you hear us, my nigga, reach out because you definitely got some. You got some heat, son, and I definitely got a few people that I want to put you on for sure. A couple niggas I think you definitely should work with, and y'all can get it popping. And a couple of these niggas is actually in Philly, so that'll work out for you for sure.
Oh, he from Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right outside of Philly. But it is what it is. We're gonna say Philly because I don't know exactly where you're from, but I know you live outside of Philly right now. But it is what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pleased to hear you're from Philly because he looked like a Chicago nigga.
No, he definitely. I know he at least living outside of Philly. That I do know. Where the little nigga from? I don't fucking know. Because he definitely gave off Chicago vibes, and he said East Side, so that kind of you ain't never heard niggas really say East Side, so I don't really know. It is what the fuck it is.
I'm definitely thinking Chicago.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But on that note, get enlightened, stay enlightened, and you ain't gotta worry about being enlightened. And on that note, we out this bitch. Deuces.
Peace.